and Premier Bank Card are proud sponsors of tonight's beautiful flag display. The display honors our nation's veterans and those who currently serve both overseas and abroad. On behalf of your friends and neighbors at Number 2, Peyton Bisker, son of Dawn Bisker, Brian and Tracy Bisker.
All right, good evening and welcome back to Aero TV after a 2-week
Number 5, Simon Hendricks, son of
my name
Mike
is Sam
and Stacey
Mooney. Join me in
Hendricks.
the booth as always is the handsome Tyson Zemlicka, not to be confused with Taylor Zemlicka. Tyson, we've got, we're a few
Number
weeks
8, Jubin Hudson, son of Susie Hudson.
From homecoming, from the exciting Washington game. And here we are welcoming the Mitchell Kernels on senior night.
Number 9, Austin
So let's talk
Johnson,
about
son of
Mitchell a little
Stacey.
bit. Mitchell comes in with a 1-5 record. They just had an upset win over Spearfish last week, 35-28. Who and what pops off to you from Mitchell on tape?
Yeah, the first thing that kind of pops off to you as a team standpoint, they run the ball a lot. And I told you earlier today, they're one of the most creative run teams I've seen. They don't just kind of line up under shotgun and hand it off, power right, power left. They do a lot of motions. They get in the gun, they get in pistol, a lot of motions, speed sweeps, all that kind of stuff. So they're fun to watch from an offensive standpoint, and they're very creative with their run game. That being said, they don't throw the ball a lot. You know, you get a few screens, you get a few of the quick passes, but it's not what we've been seeing the last few weeks, especially here at Watertown with the teams that try to air it out and throw it around the field. So really plays in a little bit more into the Watertown defense's strength. So that'll be interesting for Mitchell tonight to see what they're willing to change. But from a player standpoint, you're going to see a lot of number 20 and 21 tonight.
Yep.
Kind of your prototypical high school running backs. They're in that just under 6 feet tall, just a hair under 200 pounds each of them. They carry the ball in a lot of different ways, whether it's from that slot or from the running back or at a fullback or kind of a wing spot. So they're going to be busy tonight. They're busy every week for that Mitchell Kernel offense, and they're going to be fun to watch. But I'm excited to see if they'll make a lot of adjustments or if they're just kind of stick to what they do.
So what we'll see from the Mitchell offense too is going to be it's a little unorthodox if and when they do throw the ball. You're going to see 2 quarterbacks under center tonight for the Kernels. You're going to see a 5'11", 200-pound junior, number 15, TJ Jealous. And then you're also going to see a 5'10", 165-pound senior, number 16, Lucas Chenoweth. So each of them brings something a little different to the table. I believe Chenoweth is going to be more of the passer and Jealous is going to be more of the runner. But when you see these 2 quarterbacks on film, let's talk about Chenoweth. What do you see from him?
You know what? To me, there's a lot of similarities. It's a lot of that game management type of deal. I'd like to see him run a little bit more, just with how creative they are in that run game, and I have seen it some. But that's the thing, is their strengths are on that quick passing game, the screen game, making quick decisions fast, getting the ball out, or handing it off, and just kind of being a factor in that run game. And it's similar for both of them, I think.
Yeah, and we'll see both Chenoweth and Jealous, both quarterbacks. We'll see them run. They do Mitchell does a lot of quarterback sneaks. They'll line up under center, and then they'll just try to pick up 3-4 yards. I think that's going to be difficult to do against this Arrow defense. The front seven of the Arrows defense is very, very good, and right in the middle of that is big Micah Hawk.
Yeah, he's been incredible from week 1 even to now. He's gotten better progressively at a very rapid pace, and I know you told me a few weeks back that this is his first year playing football, and I think week 1 I would have believed you, and now sitting here week 6 wherever we're at, I definitely wouldn't. He's a fantastic football player to watch. Sounds like he's going to get a start at left tackle tonight for the Arrows.
Yep.
He does incredible things on defense. He's got a lot of flexibility for a 6'5", 280-pound young man.
Yep.
He's he plays fullback a little bit for the Arrows. He's played some kind of all over the offensive line, so it'd be fun to see him get a start tonight. But yeah, on defense, he sets the tone for the Arrows along with a few other guys in that front seven.
So if Mitchell wants to run the ball tonight, it's going to be really hard. Looking at team stats, the Arrows have given up 444 rushing yards all season. The Arrows are giving up 74 rushing yards a game, as opposed to the 147 that they're putting on.
It's almost unheard of for the Arrows. Something's gonna have to change now. Either Watertown's gonna give up nothing and Mitchell's gonna just be held and maybe make some changes. Otherwise, they're going to see if they can be creative, like we talked about. Is it going to be more of the speed sweeps? Is it going to be trying to set the edges with some speed and get out and around that Arrow defense? I don't foresee it happening tonight. Like I said, Mitchell's coaches have done a good job game planning their run game specifically. So maybe we'll get a few wrinkles out of it. We've seen some halfback passes. Yep. Again, it's one of the most creative offenses I've seen just in the run game. But you kind of set up for that as a defense. You're going to have 7-8 in the box for the Arrows tonight probably. And you're going to just dare them to pass the ball and try and beat you over the top.
I talked to Coach Hodor before the game, and I asked him that very question, and I asked him about having 7 or 8 in the box, and if we could, let's see if we can get to that interview with Coach Hodor before the game here on field.
Okay, we are here with head coach of the Watertown Arrow 4-2 Watertown Arrow football team, Coach Hodor. Coach, you sent me I got the starter sheet today. Looks like big Micah Hawk is going to be starting at left tackle today. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, Micah's a big, strong, athletic kid, and we know he can help us offensively as well as he does defensively. He's the type of guy who can latch on to people and move them. So hopefully he is a big part of our offense in the run and pass game.
Weather obviously is changing from pretty nice to not so nice. How does that affect your game plan? How does it affect the players? You talk about that at all throughout the week?
We didn't really talk about it that much. I know last week it was 90 degrees or whatever it was, and this week got a little bit cooler. Guys have been in it. They've been in this before. They live in South Dakota, so we're not really that concerned with the weather.
4-2 Arrows take on the 1-5 Mitchell Kernels tonight. Arrow Football Live at 6:30. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
So there you have it from Coach Hodor, talking about Micah Hawk starting at left tackle. Talking about the weather a little bit. And Tyson, you've played in cold games. You played high school football in cold games. You've played college football in cold games. How is this weather going to impact both teams, specifically the pass game?
For the Arrows, and I guess for Mitchell, both of these teams have a big emphasis on running the ball. Watertown definitely throws it more. They've been getting progressively better at that every week too. The teams I used to play on, Sam, we threw the ball a lot. So we didn't always look forward to these types of weathered games just because that was maybe where our strengths lie was on the passing side of things. But, it's just an emphasis on don't even really worry about the weather as a defensive player, as an offensive player. You get, 5-6 plays in and you're hot out there, you're sweating. So it's just kind of relying on your strengths. And in this game where both teams are going to rely on that run game a lot, you're not going to see too many differences. Like we said, Mitchell doesn't throw the ball much to begin with. So I'm guessing just a few more play actions, catch some people by surprise, but that's really about it.
We did have some time to talk to Mitchell's head coach, Coach Pat Larson. Actually, Ryan Remmers went all the way to Mitchell, South Dakota, in front of the Corn Palace to talk to Coach Larson. Let's listen to what Coach Larson has to say about this game.
Ryan Remmers here with Arrow TV down in Mitchell, outside the world's only Corn Palace. Connected with Coach Pat Larson of the Mitchell football team. Coach, coming off a big win, homecoming on Friday night, first win of the season, first win as a head coach for you too. How's that make you feel?
It was a great experience. It was great for those kids. They put a lot of work in since I took over this thing in the spring, and it's all the credit to those guys and my assistants for getting that done. They played extremely well. We played all 3 phases. We played very well, and we had to compete to the end and faced adversity and came out on top. And it was an awesome feeling. Awesome feeling. Against
a pretty good Spearfish team there too. Now they were number 5, and you knocked them off.
Yeah, Spearfish is a good football team. Seth Hamilton is an outstanding quarterback. Offensively, they're going to give people fits. I mean, if I was one of the upper seeds in the playoffs and they're going to be coming to my place, I'd be worried because they can move the ball offensively. I know we caused some turnovers for them uncharacteristically last night. They interception early, a fumble early, and then we had a few more picks later on as they were trying to make stay in the game. So, but they're a really good football team.
Parker Denny, what can you say about him? He had by our count, he had a touchdown. A receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a pick 6, so a defensive touchdown. Heck of a game for him, huh?
Yeah, Parker's kind of our horse. He gets it done in all phases of the game. He returns punts, returns kicks. He's our primary ball carrier. He's really good at running screen passes, and that pick 6 was just kind of icing on the cake as he's been playing linebacker for us all year, and he just stepped in front of a good one and made about 6 guys miss going down the sideline. It was pretty cool, and he's an outstanding player, and I'm really fortunate to get to have him this year and get him back next year because he's only a junior, so it's a big deal for having him be young as he is and being as good as he is.
That's outstanding. Speaking of juniors, it looked like TJ Jealous got a start the other night against Spearfish, and he played pretty well there.
Well, that was going into the week. We kind of decided we were going to try to switch some things up and play some more guys and get some put guys in spots that maybe are better for them. TJ's maybe a little bit better thrower than Lucas Chenoweth is. Chenoweth's probably a little bit better runner, and we're just trying to find ways to maximize those guys' talents. And I don't know that it was necessarily we planned that TJ was going to start. That's just the group we decided to go with on offense. When Coach Whitty called the first offensive group out, he said, "Let's go ace," and that's TJ's group, and that's who we sent out. So we're going to see him probably those two, probably Mick Daly again this week out of our little Wildcat formation we ran. So we'll keep plugging those guys in there, and like I said, in situations that make sense, we can maximize those guys' talents.
So there you have it from Coach Larson, and a big shout out to Coach Larson for taking time out of his day on a Saturday to meet us down at the Corn Palace there, the world famous Corn Palace, and do a nice quick little interview with us. And I spent some time talking to Coach Larson today before the game started, and I asked him about Jealous, and I asked him about Chenoweth, and I asked him if he's going to go ahead with that 2-headed attack today with the 2 quarterbacks, and he said he was. So if you're a defense, how do you prepare for both of them? It's hard enough preparing for one, let alone 2, right?
It is. And we talk about one of them is going to run a little bit more than the other. There is that option factor in there. But if you're Watertown, with the amount that these guys run the ball, don't worry who's in there at quarterback. I mean, be aware of it. But just read your keys, do your jobs. Number 20 and 21, it is Parker Dean, junior running back, 5'10", 185-pound running back, and then number 21, Mick Daly, he's a senior, 5'11", 190-pound running back. Those guys are going to get the bulk of the touches, the bulk of the carries. Now, we did see last week against Spearfish, Mitchell knew they had a good chance to get a W last week, and they pulled all the stops. Yeah. It could be a tough one tonight, too, especially if they show up. And maybe Watertown has a little bit of a letdown. So I expect to see every stop pulled out again tonight. Maybe you see a few more quarterback runs. Maybe you see a few more play-action plays from the Mitchell Kernels. But that's really how you do it, is just stay on your keys, do your job, and you should be fine tonight.
So Mitchell comes in at 1-5. They had an upset win over a 4-2 Spearfish team last week. Spearfish drops to 4-2. Mitchell improves to 1-5. On the year, Mitchell scoring 9 points a game. They're giving up 42 points a game. Mitchell is a team, like we've talked about, that prefers to run short passes, quick passes, screens, slants, things like that. But when you're giving up 42 and you're only scoring 9, that's a recipe for an arrow win, no?
Yeah, I will say this. Momentum's a crazy thing. You and I have talked about that for years.
Yes.
And right now they're 1-0 in their last game, and they're going to carry more of that momentum into this one. So for them, it is kind of having that short memory, just like when when Watertown maybe dropped a game that we thought they maybe were going to have against Yankton. It's closed the book on it, learn from it, move to the next week.
Sure.
And for Mitchell, they're coming off of a pretty big win. You could see on the highlight there. Those kids were fired up for their first win of the season. Where Watertown, kind of got by the skin of their teeth against Aberdeen Central. So two teams that both come off a win, but one of them's feeling a little bit better about it than the other one, I'd say.
So Watertown does come off of a win versus Aberdeen Central, and that win came off of a missed last-second field goal by Aberdeen Central. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. For now, we're going to go to the field, and I believe we're going to go to God Bless America here shortly. But for the time being, let's go back to the Aberdeen game. So Watertown was fortunate to come off with that win and improve to 4-2. They got a big field goal towards the end of the fourth quarter. And then Aberdeen was able to drive back, and they missed a field goal, so the Arrows were able to hold on. So after securing that win and improving to 4-2, let's talk about a playoff picture, because now we're at that point where that's what we need to start talking about with your Watertown Arrows. So they've got 3 games left. They got tonight versus Mitchell. And then next week they go on the road against Spearfish. And then the season finale is going to be on the road against T. And a little spoiler alert for all you Arrow TV fans out there, there's a better than good chance that Arrow TV is going to be going to T. So Tyson, talk about, we know that we never look ahead. The next game is now. But let's talk about the playoff picture, because it's important for the Arrows now.
Right. Coach Hodor's got to hate us using the P word already with 3 weeks to go. But it is important, and it's different for us than it is the players to think about.
For sure,
so,
absolutely.
To you and I, for you and me anyway, the Arrows really got to win 2 of their last 3 games to get in the playoffs. But at this point now, 3 games to go, this is really the time of the year where you start kind of dialing in. The mistakes have to go down. The penalties have to go down. You got to be executing better. You got to be firing all cylinders. You really got to win right now. The momentum's got to pick up right now if you want to have a chance in the playoffs. Obviously, they were great. They got a win last week. I expect them to be strong tonight, hopefully stronger next week, setting up a really good end of the season battle for that 3rd, 4th seed that's going to be up for grabs with T. And I'm really excited for that one. I know we're not going to get ahead of ourselves here tonight or next week in Spearfish, but if Watertown can take care of business the next 2 out of 3 weeks, they will host a playoff game for the first time in quite a while. That's something this Arrow faithful is excited about.
Yeah, and like you said, Coach Hodor and the players, they don't need to be thinking long term, or they don't need to be thinking 2 weeks from now, a week from now, 3 weeks from now. That's what we get to do. We're blessed enough to be up in the booth and talk about that stuff. But it's real. It's on the horizon. Playoff football unless the wheels completely fall off.
Right.
Playoff football should be here in Watertown, roughly
3 weeks.
3 weeks from now.
Right.
We should be hosting a quarterfinal game, but there's a lot that can happen between now and then. We got to take care of business tonight against Mitchell. This is a very winnable game. We've talked about how great the Arrows run the ball, and so let's talk about how well the Arrows run the ball. The Arrows have got 887 yards rushing on this season, and 799 of them are coming from Juven Hudson. So, we've talked a lot about Mitchell. Let's focus on Watertown now. And that Watertown offense specifically starts and stops with number 8, Juven Hudson.
Yeah, he's all over the Mitchell game plan. He's all over Watertown's game plan, and he's who a lot of people come to watch. We've talked about watching him on Saturdays a year from now. He's going to have a big game tonight. If this win does pick up a little bit, Watertown will probably keep it in his belly more often than not. There's a relatively good chance he breaks that 1,000-yard mark on his own tonight. But he's probably going to get 25-plus carries like we're used to seeing.
Right. So now, if and when the Arrows open up the passing game a little bit, that's going to be with our quarterback Trayton Himrick. Himrick is off to a good start this season. He's 44 for 87. He's got 718 yards in the air. He's got 7 touchdown passes. It's a quiet 7 touchdown passes because we spend so much time talking about Juven. We don't spend a lot of time talking about Himrick. But last year, the Arrows, as a team, had 5 touchdown passes. Here, we're in game 7, right? We're 4-2. We're into game 7, and he's got 7 touchdown passes to only 3 interceptions.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with him is from week 1 to where we've seen in the last couple weeks here, especially that Sioux Falls Washington game. Week 1, he's not what I talked about with Mitchell. He was a little bit more of a game manager. He was just doing just enough to kind of get by. He was learning the ropes. He was adapting. A couple weeks ago against Sioux Falls Washington, he made some big plays that carried the Arrows into winning that game. You said 7 touchdowns again. I always put an asterisk on that because he hasn't had his main target, Nathan Briggs, the last couple weeks here. With him in the lineup, he's probably sitting in that double-digit range. So obviously, the Arrows love to have him back in the next week or two before that playoff run. But the job Mr. Hemrick has done from start to now, it's been great to watch him grow. It's going to be good to watch him tonight. I said I'm hoping this win dies down a little bit in his favor. But he's been great, and he's getting better. And by the time the playoffs get here, if not already tonight, he's going to be where he needs to be mentally with this team execution-wise. And he's having fun playing quarterback right now.
Yeah, and you mentioned Briggs. Briggs is out tonight, and I talked to Coach Hodor before the game and asked him for kind of a diagnosis on Briggs, and they think it's a foot injury, and we're just not sure how long he's going to be out for. So he's not here. It's always next man up, right? So Briggs has 12 catches for 259 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first 4 games of the season is gone. So you got Cohen Kranz, you got Mitch Olsen. Which one of these guys do you think can step up in the passing game, not only tonight but moving forward? Does Austin Johnson at tight end, does he get involved more?
The big, I think they all are going to get involved more, and that's just a game plan thing the Arrows will take care of. But Mitch Olsen is really is kind of the nightmare matchup right now. A 6'3", 165-pound receiver. He's the one that's going to have to fight for those jump balls. Hemrick has operated a lot in his passing game on those crossing routes, and that's where Briggs really feasted. You'll probably see, Kranz and Pitkin and Austin Johnson more in that route. But on those 50-50 balls we've seen him throw up in the past, I expect him to look more Mitch Olsen's way. Last couple of games of the season, until hopefully Briggs is back, or to that point he is back. But plenty of talent on this roster, plenty of talent on that offensive, that skill set, those specialty receiver guys. And Juve can catch pass out of the backfield too, and he probably doesn't mind getting carries and touches all over the board. So plenty of guys for Mr. Hemrick to look at, but we'll see what kind of job he does tonight with them.
Before we go to the national anthem, real fun Arrow stat for the night. Wenches, our fullback, has got 3 catches for 99 yards on the season, 2 of which are touchdowns.
See, he only gets, whenever he touches the ball, he just wants to score, and I guarantee he reminds his coach that every single time they're in practice.
We're going to take a pause here and go to the legendary Nick Kranz, and then we'll go to the greatest song ever composed, which is your national anthem. We'll come back after the national anthem.
Under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and educational benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship and respect for officials and their decisions will be expected of everyone. Failure to do so would result in removal from the event. At this time, we ask that you please stand as the Watertown High School Band, under the direction of Austin Fordham, honors America with the playing of our national anthem. Proper respect for the flag is to remove your cap, stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Active duty personnel or veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Tyson?
I already know. I do know.
There is a lot of perks
At
for
this
being
time,
up
I'd
in
like
this
to
booth
introduce
and being
your
blessed
cheering
enough
squads.
to call it Arrow Football on Arrow TV.
Annabelle Brennan.
And I think the best one is to get to hear that gentleman sing the national
Kendra
anthem every day.
Buckles.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Incredible.
Brooklyn
And
Dahl.
I really would like to hear that guy stand on the 50-yard line
Just give him the mic and get out of the way.
Just belt it out. All right, so we are just about 5.5 minutes from kickoff. We're announcing some cheerleaders. We'll soon announce the Mitchell Kernels and then your Watertown Arrows, and then we'll get to kickoff. So we talked about how this is a winnable game for the Arrows. We expect a heavy run game from both sides. So let's talk about the Arrow defense a little bit. Arrow defense, we talk about Micah Hawk a lot. A guy that we talk about Caden Beauchamp a lot too, and which we should.
Number 66.
But Jaden Lambert, the 6'1", 240-pound defensive end. Let's talk about him. He leads the Arrows in tackles.
He's been great all year, and I love the way he pulls as an offensive guard, but he's been just as disruptive on this defensive line. He's a huge reason why this front seven's been playing the way it has. He'll be good tonight. He's very consistent both sides of the ball. But that defensive line of the Arrows, I know we always say front seven. Those big guys never do get enough credit, just kind of the way it is. But the fact that he's leading the Arrows in tackles, he's doing something right. He's not just flying out of his gap and getting upfield to make a tackle. He's squeezing on the gap, and he's getting rewarded because of it.
Yeah, and actually I misspoke. Lambert's got 3 sacks. He's second on the team in sacks. The team is actually led in tackles by Schulte. He's got 32 of them. Caden Beauchamp's got 30 tackles. Caden leads the team in sacks with 4. So let's talk about Caden Beauchamp and his team leading 4 sacks and his 5 TFLs.
Yeah, he had a huge night one. That's kind of what kind of springboarded him into lead on all those statistics. I really like when I watched him play kind of that stand-up outside linebacker.
Yeah.
They moved him around a little bit. I think that was his best position personally. But we haven't talked about Simon Hendricks being back. We haven't got to see him play really since week 1. He brought the juice all that first week, and this will probably be the first time that we've gotten to see him really healthy, fully healthy in person since then.
Yeah, so we got to see him that first game against Brookings, 32-0, I believe, and then he had that kind of a high ankle sprain, and he played a little bit last week against Aberdeen, but he is in the starting lineup tonight, and we'll see him at outside linebacker. So what's he going to bring to this defensive unit?
If it's anything like it was week 1, I expect a lot of energy. He's fast. He runs all over the field. He's itching to be on his home field. This is the last game these guys are guaranteed at this field.
Yeah.
So that's in the back of their mind just in case something would ever kind of go wrong and they wouldn't be having that home playoff game. He's going to show up tonight. It could be any of these guys' last game on this field. I expect a big performance from some of those guys.
So last week the Arrows were in Aberdeen and the offense struggled a little bit, scoring 16 points. Do we think that the Arrow offense can take advantage of this Mitchell defense and put 30 to 35 points on the board?
Yeah, I think the style they play, Mitchell's strength, those 2 running backs we talked about, ironically those guys play linebacker as well. Go figure. That just under 6 foot, 200-pound frame of those guys, they're kind of all over the field. If you can control where they're at, your game plan as an Arrow will kind of naturally flow. So expect to have an emphasis on them in the run game when they're running the ball and when they're on defense and you're running the ball, and you should be just fine. I'm hoping we see some play action like we've seen, a few weeks back against Washington, suck them up, kind of hit them over the top, and establish that new #1 receiver.
I'm going to make a bold prediction, and I'm not sure if I'm able to do this or not. So if I'm not, maybe mute my mic. But we talked about a few minutes ago that Juven's got 799 yards rushing on the season. I'm going to say he breaks 1,000 yards.
I agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised. I would like to see Sparks get a few carries again. Every time we throw it, when Winches touches the ball, it's kind of electric. Sparks is a dynamic athlete. We've seen him on kick return. We've seen him get an interception, take him back to the house. So I would be surprised, getting into the later part of the season, keeping everybody fresh. I'd like to see him get a few carries tonight. Let's maybe see him rumble, bumble, and stumble for 75 to 100 yards, huh?
So speaking of Sparks, Sparks on that defense really does give him a spark. He leads the team with 3 interceptions. He's got 125 interception return yards. And out of all 125 interception return yards and all 3 interceptions, there wasn't one that was more electrifying than the game-winning, game-sealing pick 6 on homecoming a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we've talked about that one a few times since that special night. It was a huge win for Watertown, this football program, this school. And again, this could be his last game on this field tonight. So I expect him to play good. That's why I expect him to get a few touches. They'll be all over. This defense will be fast, but some of these seniors are going to make some big plays on what could be their last home game here.
Yeah,
Watertown.
let's turn it over here to the official. It sounds like Watertown won the toss and is going to receive, which is interesting. I mean, I think what we've seen in previous games is when Watertown wins the toss, they defer.
Right. I think tonight it's, come out, step on their throat, go for it right away. I know Mitchell's coming off some big momentum from last week. Let's remind them whose home field this is. Let's remind them who has the better offense and take it down and put up some points, especially after we talked about maybe a little bit of an underwhelming performance in offense last week. Let's come out and set the tone early.
So on the Mitchell defense, we talked about it. Mitchell's defense has given up about 42 points a game. They're going to run a 3-4 defense, so they're going to have 3 down linemen. They're going to have 4 linebackers. So what we really need to see from the Arrow offense is we need those offensive linemen to get to that second level and pick off those linebackers. So let's talk about that Arrow offensive line a little bit. Outside of Micah Hawk, we've talked about him a lot. We talked about Caden Beauchamp a lot. What about Landon Perry, Jaden Lambert, Carter Ingalls? What do these guys have to do to get to that second level?
Landon Perry's been good all year. I don't think I've seen him miss a snap at center in all the film I've watched. They're going to have somebody head up on him. I don't expect him to get a lot to the second level tonight very often. But again, it's just these guys doing what they practice all week. Reading your keys, doing your job, working that double team up to the second level. I know Mitchell's in one of the games I watched, they had a couple of their defensive ends wide. So sometimes you just be kicking those guys out and busting it right up the middle.
Well, the time for talk is over. The ball is on the tee. The kicker is ready. Welcome to the jungle. Jungle is blaring. We're time to kick off here. Kicker's gonna get the okay from both sides. He's gonna kick off to Lambert. He's gonna kick off to Sparts or Juven.
I'll say if Lambert's getting a return, he might have won a bet with Coach Hodor during the week of practice. He'd probably love that.
The wind is blowing pretty good, so we're gonna have somebody hold the ball here to kick off. We do have Sparts and Juven back deep. And the kick is going to be short, and it's going to go up to number 17 at about the 25, and he's going to get met there and pick up about another yard or two, and that's going to be for your Arrows. That's going to be Marcus Pitkin, also the backup quarterback.
What grade is he in, Sam?
Pitkin is a junior, if I remember correctly. Sophomore.
So we haven't seen him in there as much. He's going to be the guy that steps up with Briggs being out, it looks like. Be fun to watch him play on his home field here tonight.
So the Arrows are going to take over 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. They're going to go back to the traditional I formation, which we've seen a lot of this year. They're going to hand off to Juven. He's going to go on the right side, make 1 miss, make 2 miss. He's going to hit that corner, and he's going to take it all the way up to about the 48-yard line. You couldn't script a better start.
He's about an eighth of the way to securing your bet there, Sam, hitting his 1,000 yards.
I tell you what,
25 off the bat.
Juven, make me look like a genius here. That's a good start. Good contained block on the outside from the Arrows there.
Again, it's what we talked about. Receive the ball, set the tone, show what team's going to physically impose their will tonight. And of course, you're going to start that with the run game and Juven Hudson.
Yep, and we're going to go right back to the same formation here, traditional I formation with the with Wenches right there in the fullback. This time they're just going to go to the other side. Juven's going to come right towards us. He's going to cut up and make one guy miss. And you know what? If Juven is going to continue to juke and jive like that, it's going to be really tough for this Mitchell Kernel team to contain him.
You know what? Mitchell looks a little cold right now. They don't want to quite get his physical and wrap up and hit. They'll settle in here in the next couple plays and be a little bit more physical. But, yeah, if you're Watertown, this is exactly what you want to drop. Come out fast, ready to go right away.
With Juven coming right towards us, one thing that we really haven't talked a whole lot about with him is just how fast and how quick his feet are. His footwork is incredible.
Yeah, he's done a really good job of setting up his blocks this year, too. He knows now, I think, just with some age and some experience to follow his guards and his pullbacks, and done a better job of that this year.
We're going to do a play action to Juven this time and roll out back, and then there's Wenches again, and he's going to take it all the way down to about the, about the
15?
15, 20?
He's got to be pretty unhappy. It's going to drop his average on touches to touchdowns.
Well, that's 4 catches now for Mr. Wenches for only 2 touchdowns, so as we go back and look at that Juven play from the play before. Juven's running the ball well. I like the play action. I think Hemrick did a nice job of putting the ball in the belly of the running back and then pulling it out and getting on hitting Wenches out in the front.
When you're averaging 15 yards a carry, the fake doesn't have to be very good either. I mean, that helps a lot. The Mitchell defense is just going to be jumping everything.
We're going to get an offsides here on Mitchell. I believe that's going to be number 75 right there in the middle, 73. It's going to be on Mitchell for sure. So that's going to be 5 free yards for the Arrows. Let's see what the ref says here.
Dead ball. encroachment, defense number 79. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, Tyson, when you get 43 and you have bifocals, 73, 75 all look like 79.
Oh, you were pretty close, so. And you called it on the right team. That's the important thing.
Yeah, I had it in the right player. I can't see the numbers. So it's going to be 1st and 5. Looks like on the 10-yard line. So the Arrows can still pick up a first down here. Let's see if they just if they stick it in Juven's gut here 4 times and get him in there for a touchdown.
I don't think it's going to take 4 times, Sam.
Boy, I think we're going to get another first
to.
down. So this time we're going to get an offsides on Mitchell again. This time it's going to be on the defensive end. So this is going to be 1st and goal on the Arrow 5.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense number 32. 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
May only take 1 play, Sam.
Well, you know, at this point, we'll just take it 5 yards at a time.
That's kind of hurting the average, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So Juven's going to be the single back formation. Henrik's going to be under center. He's going to put it right in Juven's chest. Juven's going to go right up the middle. He's going to walk in for the first Arrow touchdown of the night.
Yeah, just like what we talked about. Come out, establish your dominance early. Let them know whose home field this is, who the better team is, who the more physical team is. Great start by Watertown offensively.
Yeah, and you can see on the replay here, brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union, Juven just got right behind number 67 1 week, number 88 the next, Caden Beauchamp.
Yeah, this offensive line is big, strong, fast. They've given a lot of teams a lot of problems this year, and looks like they may be setting Mitchell up for a few problems tonight.
So we got bad hike here, snap here, excuse me, and that's going to lead to the missed extra point. That's what I get for looking down. So let's talk about Juven. 3 carries, 39 yards, touchdown, long of 23. Not a bad start to the drive.
No, I said he knows 1,000 yards are within reach, and he's gonna go for it tonight.
Magic numbers 20. Well, 201 is what he needed to begin. So 201 minus 39, not too bad.
No, he's well on his way.
So Mitchell is going to take over here on offense, and we talked about the 2-headed monster that they have. I believe they're going to start with Lucas Chenoweth, but really the guy to focus on is for the Mitchell offense is going to be number 21, Nick Daly.
Yeah, both those guys, they get a lot of carries, number 20 and 21. And they're of course they're the 2 return men. You know, this offense really revolves around those 2. Gonna have their work cut out for them tonight, getting the majority of the carries. We know the Watertown defense is aware of that, so we'll see what they got planned for the Arrows tonight.
Kicking off for your Arrows is going to be number 39, Tommy Foley. And let me tell you what, Tyson and I were very impressed with Tommy Foley.
He had a pretty good leg.
Pregame. Tommy Foley was kicking field goals how long?
50-yard field goals.
50 yards and making them pretty consistently.
One after another.
So we'll see what he does here. Oh, they're going to do an onside to go right up the middle. Is he going to recover it?
Oh, he
had it.
He had it and slipped out of his. What a great kick, though.
That was a phenomenal kick, a phenomenal onside.
I don't think he got it.
The ball's got to travel 10 yards. And he was setting it up for 10 yards. He was right there, and it bounced right off his hand.
He probably didn't touch it till it was at 15 yards.
Yeah, I think if he could have snatched it out of the air. See this play brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit
Oh, he
Union.
had it.
And that's Sparts, right? Is that 30, 35?
No, our kicker 39.
Yeah, but Sparts was the one that had his hand on it.
Oh, it was Sparts?
So it looked like to me, it looked like number 35 right down the middle of the field.
Yeah, whoever it was, they're going to wish they had that one back. It was right in the breadbasket. Heck of a kick, though.
Absolutely. So Mitchell's going to go with an empty set. They're going to bring number 21 in motion here. And they're going to come out passing right away. And there's that quick, short game that we talked about. And again, number 20, Parker Daney, we're going to hear his name a lot.
Yeah, they start with the first wrinkle, and that's a pass play to open up the game. It's not quite what you expected from the Mitchell Kernels, but Caden Beauchamp almost got a hand on that ball coming out of the slot, too. Quarterback's got a little bit of almost like a lower delivery, leads the opportunity to tip a few balls there, and Caden Beauchamp missed it by about 1.5 inches.
So now we've got under center is going to be number 15, TJ Jealous. And he's going to be in the shotgun on a single back with number 20 here in motion. And he's going to sweep out to the left. He's going to cut inside. He's going to be met in the backfield.
That didn't take long, huh?
Boy, welcome back.
Simon Hendricks making his appearance here.
Yes, welcome back, Simon Hendricks.
Second play of the game at home, and you can tell he's happy to be back. He's not screaming at the crowd yet in the sideline, so he's still getting a feel for it. But we're glad to have him back.
It's going to be really hard for this Kernels team to move the ball on this Arrow defense. Mitchell's going to have to open the playbook up, and they're going to have to run, or excuse me, they're going to have to pass to move the ball here. That front seven from your Arrows defense is just too strong. So this time they are going to drop back to pass. It's going to be, we're going to have a flag here, and they're going to blow the play dead. Guessing that's going to be a false start on Mitchell. So getting back to it, I mean, if Mitchell wants to move the ball, they're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to push it downfield. Because even these balls that are going to go into the flat, these screens,
5-yard penalty, third down.
These quick hitches, the Arrows the Arrows linebackers are too quick.
Yeah, you know, that play didn't look too bad right there, what they kind of had set up, but you're not going to be able to run screens all night, you know, and those bubble screens, it's just, Watertown's going to catch on to that pretty fast. So they're going to have to be creative. They're going to have to mix it up, but they're going to have to quit shooting themselves in the foot or it's going to make for a long night.
So 3rd and 18 at the 29, drops back to pass.
Screen.
And there's that screen set up right in the middle of the field. We saw that on film, and when we saw it on film last week against Spearfish, it went 80 yards for a touchdown. We see it on film tonight, 1 yard loss.
Yeah, that was one of the highlights too, is that just that same middle screen. And Watertown's watched their film, obviously, and they're ready to go. I thought one of the D linemen was gonna sniff it out there, but linebackers in the right spot, made a good tackle and forced forward down punt here.
That's great coaching by the Arrows coaching staff, because we did see that on film, and that play popped for an 80-yard touchdown last week. This week it doesn't get much. It's going to be a short punt. It's going to get a good Arrow bounce, and it's going to go to about the 47.
About a half-yard short of a first down there.
Yeah, not bad. So the Arrows are going to take over with 9 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first quarter. They're up 6-0. We've seen 3 Juven Hudson runs for a total of 39 yards and a touchdown. 1 Hemrick pass for 24 yards. So far so good for the Watertown Arrow offense.
We're going to see a shot here, Sam, a play-action shot, and just knock him out early. What do you think?
Well, thing is like if they're going to take that deep ball, who's it going to go to?
I keep an eye on number 17 here.
I was just saying that too. I was just thinking that myself. Marcus Pitkin is.
Nope, they're going to do a speed sweep here.
And that's going to be with Cohen, right? Number 16, Shea Coltrane. So that's going to be an Arrows first down. So there's that wrinkle that you talked about.
Yeah, mixing up here a little bit. Again, I expected something a little different, and again, it was different from what I was thinking. So good way for the Arrows to keep Mitchell off balance out there.
So the Arrows are going to line up with a single back, and that single back is going to be Jubin. You're going to have 2 Arrows receivers up at the top on the right side here.
I called it a play late, Sam.
Play action. And he's going to go deep over the middle, and did he get hit?
Yeah.
His arm got hit as he went to throw it, so it's going to fall incomplete.
I say I was a playoff there. I was 1 play late, and if he had another second and a half, Spencer Winches would have been open the touchdown, Sam, with the ball in his hands.
I tell you what, though, I'm really impressed by Hemrick's play action.
Yeah, it's
improved.
It's getting better every week. When the run game is this strong, that helps it, obviously. Wish he'd had a half second more there for that 8th touchdown of the season, but he's going to get another opportunity on it yet tonight.
So we're going to go back into the traditional I formation with Winches at the fullback and Jubin at the tailback here. We're going to split to Jubin. Jubin's going to make one guy miss as per the usual, but he can't get around the other guy. He's going to be pushed out of bounds here for just a couple yard gain.
It only took 3 of them to get him down that time.
So now when you've got 3rd and 10, and really with this Arrow offense, you can you don't have to get away from the run, do you?
No, again, you have the wind at your back, and we just complimented our field goal kicker here, but I would not be surprised to see Watertown go for it if they can pick up 3, 4, 5 yards.
So this time they're going to go trips right. Single wide receiver is going to be number 10, Cohen Kranz at the bottom. They are going to pass. They're looking Kranz's direction. Kranz has got a step on his guy, makes a great adjustment to the ball. That's going to be a first down for your Arrows, 1st and goal.
Yeah, you love to see it. I said Mitch Olsen earlier, but you go with Cohen Kranz on the jump ball, and he delivers. That ball almost got taken away by the Mitchell Kernel defender. You can see there, he just about ripped it away, but thankfully Cohen Kranz has those strong hands, and he pulled it back away.
I tell you what, Cohen Kranz has done a phenomenal job this year of making an adjustment to the ball. Yeah, we've seen him do it time and time again, and that's just another time, so it's going to be 1st and goal for your Watertown Arrows at the 5. with the traditional I formation. We'll see if they put it in Juven's belly here, and they do. Juven's going to go up the middle.
He's a little short.
Yep, he's going to be short. Big number 64 for Mitchell, Sean Foote, 5'11", 185-pound defensive lineman there, makes the stop.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
It's going to be 2nd and goal for the Arrows on the 3. Put it right in Juven's belly, no?
I don't think they're going to change the game plan here too much. Maybe Winch will get a touch, get his average back up a little bit from touches to touchdowns again.
Yeah, if Winches was listening to this later, he's probably going to be a little upset with me. Maybe I jinxed him a little bit. So we'll see what Watertown does here. They're going to go back to the I formation, tight end on the left side here. And they're going to hand off to Juven, and Juven's going to walk in for his 2nd touchdown of the night. So, recap here, 7 minutes and 1 second left in the 2nd quarter. Arrows currently up 12-0, and the only thing that we're waiting for is an extra point after another Juven Hudson touchdown.
Yeah, if you're going to critique anything at this point, that's something that hasn't been strong as part of that kicking game. Missed an extra point, and then kind of fumbled away that onside kick, but they'll get back and get on the board and get it right here.
So 6 carries for 44 yards and not 1 but 2 touchdowns from Juven Hudson. Resetting Himrick here, 3 for 4, 66 yards. Not bad. And the extra point this time is good. So that's a 13-0 Arrow lead.
157 yards to go, right, for Juven? Is that what the count is on?
201. No, he had 799. Yep, and he needed 201. So now, okay, so you're
157 to go is what I meant.
You're Mitchell. You just got punched in the mouth not once but twice. What do you do?
You know, we've talked about it before. This is a long football game. You know, stick to what you do. Read your keys. Do your jobs. Again, you're playing a tough team tonight here with Watertown Arrows. You're going to lean on your guys, but you're going to have to open up that playbook just a little bit. I don't know if it's quite in the wheelhouse of what Mitchell wants to do, but right now Watertown's just pinning their ears back and coming. It's going to be tough if they don't open up that playbook a little bit, Sam.
Yeah, so the big Mitchell playmakers are back to receive the kick here. Parker Denny, Mick Daly. Arrows are going to kick off here, and we'll see if the Arrows can pin them back and maybe get a turnover and see if we can't put 20 plus up in the first quarter and really make a statement here. So the kick is off, and it is going to go down the sideline. It's going to take him back all the way to the 5, and then it's going to bounce into the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. I'm telling you what, man, that young man for the Arrows, number 39, Tommy Foley, he has got a big leg.
He does. He really does. Gosh, I almost wanted to see him not get it on that third down there, so we can watch him kick a 50-yard field goal.
I would love to see him attempt a 50-yard field goal.
Now I'm curious what Watertown's record is. He got a little wind to his back tonight. Might be the night to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what Mitchell does here as they line up with the single back. They got number 8 in motion. They are going to pitch to number 20. He's going to pick up a few, and he's going to be met by a few more and be tackled after about a 5-yard gain.
See, that's what Mitchell's got to do. You know, that's one of their bread and butter plays, a toss left. Running back sees one cut back, he hits it, and he picks up 5-6 yards. That is the recipe for their success tonight.
And as much as we talk about how they have to open it up a little bit and throw the ball a little bit, at the same token, you can't get away with what your bread and butter is.
Right.
And your bread and butter is number 20 and number 21. So 21's going to be in motion here, and this time it's going to be an option. The quarterback's going to keep it. That's Chenoweth, I believe, and he's going to be met and decked hard by number 9, Austin Johnson.
That was a good form tackle. But you know, a good game for Mitchell as well. You know, sticking to what they do, picking up 2.5 more yards, bringing up a third manageable here.
Yeah, and really, if that's what you're Mitchell, I mean, if you're Mitchell, that's what you want to do. I mean, third and manageable is exactly that. It's manageable. You can run here, you can pass here, you can go option, you can go speed option. You know, you can break out behind or on the wide side away from the tackles. You can go inside in the guards. This time they got a new formation with split backs. We haven't seen that yet. And this time they're going to option. They're going to play action up, option and go right up the middle, and he's going to be just short of a first down.
He's really close.
I think he's going to be just short.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So this goes back to some of that creativity that we talked about. The sleight of hand by the quarterback here. He play actions up the middle, and then he looks option behind him, but instead of but then he runs it right up the middle, in between the guard and the tackle.
That is that creativity we talked about. And they do a great job of mixing that play calling up. They did give him the first down there.
They did give him the first down.
But yeah, they are gonna have to keep doing that as well. Still be creative, stick with what you do. just like I said, I just expect a little bit more on the play action side if they're going to really, they aren't going to be able to go 10 yards on 3 plays every time. And that's a perfect example of it right there.
Yeah, and as soon as he gets the ball, he's met by Hendricks almost immediately on the tackle, and just what a blessing it is to have that young man back.
Yeah, you don't realize what you have till it's gone, right, Sam? And as soon as he's back, you feel his presence right away. Arrows are going to need him down the stretch for sure. So I'm glad he's healthy.
Yeah, he's going to be a big part of their playoff run. Hopefully we can get Briggs back for that playoff run too. But for the time being, we still have Mitchell here. Mitchell's going to go in a single back, and they're going to send number 21 in motion. Quarterback's going to drop back to pass, and instead he's going to run it right up the middle. It looked like somebody lost their...
Caden Beauchamp, when he was bringing him down, his helmet popped off.
Lost his lid.
Hey, still a great play by Caden Beauchamp. Doesn't need his helmet to tackle him.
No, so Beauchamp will have to take a play off and get his helmet checked out, make sure that everything's safe and secure for that young man.
He's got that little skull cap on.
Yeah.
Makes the helmet a little slippery. It slid right off his head there.
I tell you what a blessing it is. Beauchamp comes out. It's all right. Number 78, Micah Hawk is going to come and fill up that
throw the next
middle.
guy out. Another 6'5", 280-pound nose tackle.
So Mitchell's going to run the ball right up the middle here, and again, as to be expected, they're not going to get much.
Yeah, you're going to force the punt now. So great job by the Arrows D after that first down.
Yeah, so the Arrow front seven is really imposing their will. It's so hard to run the ball against that Arrow front seven.
We're going to get Mr. Hawk out the field here.
So 4th and 9, 4th and 7. Mitchell's going to punt here. And the punt is off. It's almost blocked. Again, it's a short punt. The Arrows are going to kind of have to get out of the way of this one and just let it bounce. It's going to be right about the 45. I think what we'll do is we'll take this time to take a quick break and thank our sponsor, Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. And when we join you, it'll be 1st and 10, Arrows ball, with 3 minutes and 31 seconds left in the first quarter.
I'm Juven Hudson, and you're watching WHS Football on Arrow TV.
Arrow's offense is working fast as Hemrick has got a lane here. He's going to come right towards us and pick up right about at the first down.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, good opportunity good read and design by Hemrick. He dropped back to pass, didn't see anything there, but he had a good lane open, took it, saw the hole, and ran.
Again, that's his development we've been talking about the last few weeks. It's not forcing something. It's not just stepping up and getting hit from the back or throwing it away. That was a great play. Seeing there was nothing in front of him, taking what the defense is giving him, going picking up a first down, getting an 11-yard rush.
Yeah, Hemrick has really impressed me with his maturation over the last several weeks. This time, it looks like he's got Sparks back there, and he's going to hand off to number 17 for the Arrows, and that's going to be Marcus Pitkin.
Breaks a couple
tackles. Going to break a few and then bring it back around, and this time gets swallowed up.
Gotta love the effort there, Sam. He broke 2-3 times. He was one away from getting out of the whole mess.
So Juven Hudson is actually right in front of us. He was getting seen by the trainer. He's putting his helmet back on. It looks like he is asking Coach, hey, Coach, get me back in there, but they're going to hold him off for just a little bit here, maybe for a play. I wonder if maybe he rolled his ankle a little bit on that second touchdown run.
Yeah, and I think Hodor's kind of echoing what we set up here. They're going to spell him a little bit more tonight.
Sure.
Especially if the game seems like it's in hand. Give Sparks some carries. He's done a good job with the ball in his hands this year.
So after a 2-yard loss from Pitkin, the Arrows are going to take over at 2nd and 12 here. And they're going to play action, and Hemrick's going to roll out, and bang, there he's got him again. That's number 22, Wenches. He puts the Jets on and gets himself a nice first down.
Just if he's not a touchdown machine, at least he's a first down machine. Whenever he touches the ball, something good happens for the Arrows.
You know what? If every time you touch the ball, you get a first down or you get a touchdown, each down is just as good.
Pretty darn good night for the young man.
Not bad at all. So Juven is going to stay on the sideline here.
On the Kernel 23-yard line.
And he's just kind of following here. He's got his helmet on.
He looks okay.
I think he looks okay too. Precautionary maybe at this point. And and it's all right. They're moving the ball without him. They're going to go in a single back this time. That Spart's going to be in the backfield, and this time they're going to hand off right to him. And much the same, different guys, same result, 10, 12 yards, just right up the gut.
It is a luxury at this point. The Arrows can really give it to any of three guys, in my opinion, between Witches, Hudson, and Sparts. Just a tall order for the Mitchell Kernel defense tonight.
Yeah, it's just a plethora of riches for the Arrow backfield. Like you said, you can hand off to one of three guys, and when your all-world running back goes out, you can put Sparts in there, and Sparts gives you a spark.
It's got to be a tough team to game plan against. When we talk about Mitchell, there's really two guys that they always need to focus on. With this Arrows team, it's kind of like, who else do you guys have to give the ball to? It's kind of just a plethora of good backs there, and it's awesome to watch for Watertown.
And I think Watertown jumped. It's going to be your right tackle, number 71 there, I believe, is where that false start's going to be from.
Dead ball, false start, offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty.
They're going to get it on 82, Colton Glassman.
And Juven's coming back in now, but finally got a little adversity for the Arrows here. They can backs up against the wall just a little bit, I guess. We'll see how they respond here tonight with their first kind of, I don't know, not even a difficult stretch, just
yeah, I mean, little adversity, go 1st and 15. I mean, you're still up 13-0, 30 seconds left on the clock. Juven's coming back in. They're going to sweep out to Juven on the left side here. Juven's going to make one guy miss, and it's going to take a couple more to bring him down. That most likely will be the last play of the first quarter. So as the clock winds down with 20 seconds left, Arrows are going to have 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13, 2nd and 12 looks like. A great first quarter, 13-0. They've been able to move the ball however they want. They can do it through the ground. They can do it through the air. Hemrick, as we reset here, Hemrick's going to be 4 of 6 for 87 yards. Juven's got 7 carries for 46 yards. Hemrick's got 11. Sparts has got 12. Woof.
Yeah, it's been a big night for the Arrows offense and defensively so far. Mitchell's got to just be scratching their heads right now. It's really tough when there's so many guys you got to keep an eye on, and then physically they're just kind of imposing their will. It's just tough.
Yeah, it really is. And so while we have time in between quarters here, give a couple shout-outs. Corey Oz is a first-time Arrow TV watcher. So, Corey, thanks for watching. Class of 99, Corey Oz. And then Taylor Berger, husband of Dakota Land Federal Credit Union's mortgage loan officer, Serena Berger. He's a big fan of ours and listens every week. So, Taylor, we appreciate you watching and listening.
Yeah, I think he'd be the first one to sign a petition for us to be on the road every week. He texted last week. He weren't very happy that we were sitting at home watching the game. It's not at Aberdeen Central. So, shout out to him for leading the charge on that one.
Yeah, we appreciate him. And, fun fact about Taylor, big Rams fan.
Not everybody's perfect, Sam. We'll give him some grace in some certain areas. That's a tough one, though.
Rams get Cooper Kupp back this week. Maybe in a couple weeks we get our own Nathan Briggs back. So transitioning from shout-outs back to the field. Now we're going to go from one end zone to the other, and then now we go back to this dirt. And Mitchell, some of these Mitchell guys, maybe they're not used to playing on this dirt. I'm curious to see if their footing holds on here, or if Arrows are just going to be able to hand off to Juven here and run it in for a 13-yard touchdown. So Hemrick's going to be under center, and he's going to play action again, and this time he's going to drop back and pass. He's got a guy, and that's Witches right on. Oh, they're going to say an incomplete pass as it bounced, and he was right on the goal line.
I thought he was short. I did think he caught it.
Let's take a look here on the instant replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. Nice ball by Hemrick. Winches comes back for it.
It did hit the ground.
Yeah, geez, tough play.
He threw it a little too high and a little too short was all.
Got that Russell Wilson moonball.
Yeah,
for him.
that's exactly what it looked like.
So we'll see if the Arrows can punch it in here. It's 3rd and 13. We're going to have trips to the right this time, and single back with Juven, one wide receiver up top. He's looking that way. He's got a lot of time. Nice pocket. He's going to roll out, fire across, and there he is. Number 7 for your Arrows.
Mitch Olson.
That's Mitch Olson. We talked about him and his 6'2" frame.
Yeah, 6'3", Sam. Don't discount him. He had to go all the way up, climb the ladder for that one. That was a really good job by Mr. Hemrick extending that play and then finding his man coming across the middle.
Great job by Hemrick. Phenomenal job by the Arrows offensive line. He had all day back there to find the open receiver, and give Olsen a whole lot of credit for not giving up and moving and making himself available to Hemrick to throw the touchdown pass.
Yeah, he found some open grass and he found his quarterback. He really nice throw. I mean, again, where only your guy can go get it. He did use all that 6'3" frame, but that's why God gave it to him. Go up, make that play, and put your team up 19-0.
So the extra point is going to be good for the Arrows. So the Arrows are going to take a 19-20 nothing.
Did he miss that? I think he
did
missed
he
it,
miss
Sam.
It looked like he made it.
I think he must have missed it.
Must have missed it. That's why I got to pay attention
Oh,
to what
there they got it.
Go. Okay. So Arrows are going to take a 20-0 lead. So resetting, you got 69 rushing yards, 102 passing yards. I mean, 20-0 lead with just a few seconds left. Ours was just a few seconds off the second quarter. Not bad.
No, it's a great start for the Arrows. You know, at this point, like I said, we talked about getting, you know, spelling Juven a little bit, seeing some different guys in the ball game. At running back, probably at receiver, you know, probably at linebacker, defense line. The Arrows are deep, really on both sides of the ball in terms of some of those things. But we're going to see some young guys play tonight, I have a feeling.
So Hemrick throws his 8th touchdown pass of the season to Olsen, who picks up his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season, which will tie him for the team lead with Briggs.
Yeah, if that's going to be the guy that steps up, you know, that's huge.
But you know what? I mean, having that Hemrick to Olsen connection, they're both juniors. They can finish off this year together. They have their whole senior year together. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be a good combination to come.
You know, we can't tell up here because it's the warmest we've ever been.
But no, it might be the most comfortable we've ever been.
Yeah, but that ball has fallen off the tee now for every kicker. It's definitely windier down there than almost what it seems like up here.
Yeah, I mean, whoever put these flags on, you know, the field looks beautiful tonight. We can see the flags blowing in our camera there, and they're whipping around pretty good.
They said for once we're not sweating and we're not swatting at bees, so it must have cooled off out there.
So kicking into the wind this time as opposed to the touchback, it takes it down to the 10, and Mitchell's going to bring it all the way up to about the 35, and it looks like they're number 11 for the Kernels might be banged up a little bit. Number 11 is Eston Schmigen.
Number 21 returned that ball, Mick Daly. That guy runs hard.
Yeah, he does, and you'll see 11 kind of pop out here, and it looked like he was just shaking up a little bit, but he's off the field, so that's good. Hopefully that young man's okay. So we'll see if the Arrows defense can continue to pose their will on this Mitchell offense. They're going to sweep out to the left here, and the young man's got to start going north and south pretty soon. A lot of east and west. He's going to be tackled by number 5 for your Arrows, Simon Hendricks, and number 2, Peyton Bisker.
He did a good job setting up that block there. 20 and 21, man, they just feed each other. If one's blocking, the other one's running, the other one isn't running, the other one's blocking, then they're a fun combination to watch.
Yeah, you know, and those kids, I was able to have a conversation with the coach of Mitchell, Pat Larson, and I told him, like, the one thing that I did see on Mitchell's tape that's hard to argue, the kids don't give up. I mean, Coach Larson's doing a great job with them. So the bigger of the two quarterbacks, number 15 is back here, and there's that screen right up the middle. This time it's a little more successful than last, and it's going to bring Mitchell's first down.
Number 14.
Yeah, and that's going to go all the way up to the 50-yard line. Number 14 is Nathan McCormick. He's a 6-foot, 180-pound senior.
You know, just even things like that. You know, guys that you're not exactly reading as an Arrows defense, getting those guys involved, just kind of catching them off guard. Those things you're going to have to do if you're going to try to score a few points and get back in this game.
So the 200-pound TJ Jealous is back at quarterback now. This is what we talked about at the beginning of before the game, that we're going to see two quarterbacks here. Jealous is on shotgun here. He hands off to number 21 with 20 as the lead blocker. And, you know, 21 here, Mick Daly. Mick Daly does run hard. You know, Parker Denny, number 20, is I believe is their big home run guy. But Mick Daly runs super hard.
He's the hammer. You know, when he runs the ball, he's looking to inflict some pain. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, so that's a 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6 on the 46-yard line. Just a tick under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter here. Looks like Mitchell's slowing it down a little bit. You know, and they're just trying to get this run game going.
Yeah, I saw Blake Winch is just coming off to get a win.
So Mitchell's going to go back here with the single back. Set a guy in motion. They're going to hand off to 14. Reverse to number 21. He looked like he was going to try to throw it. He's going to keep it. He's going to get a good gain, and there's going to be a big hit hammered down by the Arrows. I think that was that number 9, Austin Johnson?
God, I didn't quite see who made that tackle. Might get a replay here. See if we can check it out.
Get a replay here by Dakota Land. So 21's going to hold the ball, and there's going to be the hit by number 22. Looks like that's Wenches.
And on the tackle or knocked him out of bounds.
So 3rd and short here.
Yeah, so 32. I'm guessing they're going right at the middle here.
Yeah, 21-20 are pretty safe bet to get the ball.
See what they do here. They're going to hand off right up the middle to number 21, and he's going to pick up enough for the first down.
The handoff is to number 20.
So bring it all the way about to the 34-yard line.
That was number 20. He said it's hard to even tell which one's which, if I'm being honest. They got about the same build.
For the Arrows, number 86, Cooper Ketwick.
Yeah, it's going to be 1st and 10. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. 34-yard line. Mitchell is going to now bring. Jealous is going to stay in as the quarterback here. It's kind of hard to keep up with Jealous and Chenoweth and Danny and Daly. You know, those 4 guys are. You know, you can really tell that these guys are the cream of the crop for the Mitchell Kernels. They're going to be in a more traditional eye here, and they're going to pitch right to number 20. Going to get a good block by number 52, and again, looks like it's going to be about close to another first down.
Again, the abundance of run plays that Mitchell has. It's fun to watch them call plays. They are creative, they're diverse, they're mixing it up. It's it's similar guys getting it all the time, but it's always in different ways and different packages, different motions are being thrown at you. That's the toughest part for Watertown is just to differentiate what's being thrown at them, what's being lined up against them, just ready to react to it. But great job by Mitchell on this drive.
Yeah, and the sleight of hand by the quarterbacks for Mitchell is really good too. I mean, you'll see play actions to other guys, misdirection, and we'll see what they dial up here. This time they're going to pass. It's going to be that quick screen out into the flat. And did he fumble?
Pass.
We may have a fumble here. We'll see what the ref says.
Yeah, he's pointing Watertown's
one's
way.
pointing to Watertown. That's going to be an arrow football.
One ref is pointing. Oh, there they go.
There he goes. That's an arrow turnover.
First turnover for the Arrows when they needed it most. Mitchell was down on their side of the 50 and they got it back.
Let's see if we can get a replay here brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. It's going to be stripped out there. Looks like by number 4 for your Arrows. And that's going to be Jeremiah Schulte. And Jeremiah Schulte actually does lead the Arrows in tackles.
That was a great play by him, getting that ball out.
You know, at that point, you're out in the flat there and you're kind of by yourself, and then so you kind of hold them up and just rip at the ball like you're starting a lawnmower.
Yeah.
And just keep them up for your other guys to come and get the gang tackle, but instead this time he just takes care of business himself.
Yeah, you expect to see him kind of hold up for everybody else to come rip at the ball, but he does the whole thing himself, and his teammates get to jump on the fumble.
So let's see what the Arrows do here. They're going to go back to the traditional I formation here. They're going to sweep our way to Juven. And there's a couple guys there meet Juven right away, just on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, better job of Mitchell flowing that ball there. Kind of diving under some blocks there. Made a really good play. Good tackle.
Met by number 37, Keelan
Only
Odell.
1 yard gain.
We'll call it a gain of 2, second down.
We'll see what
Watertown Arrows.
Arrows are going to bring in a different package. They're going to bring in number 17, Marcus Pitkin, and number 16, Shea Coltrane. We'll see if they pass here on a 2nd and 8, or if they want to pick up a few yards and try to get that first down. You're going to have 2 up top and 2 on the bottom. And Juven is going to be to Himrich's right. And they are going to pass out of this formation. And again, all sorts of time. He's got Cohen Kranz. Great job by Mitchell's number 10, Dustin Kurtenbach, to break that ball up. Hung up just a little too long.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a step on him, but a little too much height in the air. And again, now he's thrown into that wind. Both times he's thrown that pass into the wind, it's held up a little bit. We haven't seen him do that too often, so wind playing a little bit of a factor here for the Arrows.
You know, if he can get that ball out there a little bit more, or maybe if Kranz can shorten off his route a little bit to adjust for the wind, they connect on that at 6.
Yeah, this isn't some wind you play in, every week. Just got to throw a little bit more of a line instead of set up in the air. The Russell Wilson moon ball, as you called it.
Yeah, it looks like I'm wondering if they're calling an audible here. And they're going to pass again. This time he's looking for Olson, and Olson's going to be right at the first. He might
got
be,
it.
he
Oh,
got
yeah.
it. Just on, yep. So what we saw there, and I'm not sure if we could see it on the broadcast or not, but Mitch Olson and Hemrick were talking to each other with some hand signals there. So can you talk us through about maybe what they were discussing with their hands?
You know, those quarterbacks usually have hand signals, so if that would have been a go route or something, sometimes you tap your hip and that turns it into a hitch or something. That's what he ended up running. Got to the sticks, caught it, turned around, got that first down. Good communication by that receiver and quarterback there.
Yeah, absolutely. Job well done. Good coaching. This time they're going to sweep left, and Juven is going to go right up the middle after about a 5-yard gain. You see that, you see the guy from Mitchell slip. Mitchell plays on turf. Now they come over here to grass. But they practice on grass, so this isn't Mitchell's first rodeo.
At this point of the year, yeah, there's really no excuses for something like that. Like I said, they practice on grass. They practice on all week ready for this game. Sometimes you just lose your footing and you slip a little bit.
So it's going to set up a 2nd and 5, 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Go back to the traditional I formation. Typically, they're going to run out of this, and that's what they're going to do here. And Juven's going to run right behind him for a pickup of another couple yards.
That clock is just bleeding down, though. They're doing a great job of controlling this clock, keeping the offense on the field, time of possession. They get into a situation like this, and they might run it again. They feel pretty confident about getting 3 yards of play. So, might see 2 run plays here. You might see another one of those 5-6 yard hitches.
So this time we're going to see a trips right, with a single wide receiver up top, and Juven is going to be to Hemrick's right in the shotgun. Hemrick's going to look up to his left, and you're going to have the same play just on the broken tackle by Kranz. Fantastic job by Kranz to break the tackle and pick up a few extra yards. But we saw the same play just on the opposite side, this time with Kranz versus Olson. The result is the same, first down.
Yeah, I think that one was an out route, but the same concept. These Mitchell defenders are worried about him running by him. Hits an out route, hits the sideline, breaks a tackle, picks up more yards. Again, keep bleeding this clock, try to get one more score before the quarter break, and then try to not leave a whole lot of time for Mitchell bringing it back.
So 5 minutes and 22 seconds left here, and we're going back to the traditional I here. Olson at the bottom of your screen. He's going to roll out play action that way. This time he's got Wenches. We've seen, I'm sorry, that's not Wenches.
It is, right?
Is that
2?
No, that's 82, right? Yeah, that's number 82, Colton Glassman.
You take it for granted. You see 2s back there.
You know what? Colton Glassman just did his best Wenches impersonation, because we've seen that play out in the flat quite a bit this year. Great job by the 6-foot flat, 160-pound wide receiver, senior, to make that play.
They said play action, you just expect the fullback to catch it in the flat, and it's usually 22, not 82, but great play.
Yeah, single back this time under center. See if this goes to Juven. Ooh, this fumbles the snap.
Uh-oh.
I thought Hemrick
Mitchell
jumped
got
on.
it back.
I thought Hemrick jumped on top of it, but did it squirt out right away?
Yeah, it squirted out, and then he jumped on it, kind of flipped out of his hands, and he didn't have a chance to grab it then.
Geez, first sight, it looked like he jumped right on top of it and swallowed it up. But take a look at the replay here, brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. You can see the exchange is fumbled right at the exchange, and right here, yep, and it just squirts out on him.
Yeah, you never know. One of those linemen's back foot came around and kicked it too when it was on the ground, but I thought Hemrick was going to be able to jump right on it, and it really jumped up a couple extra yards.
Yeah, you can see on that first replay, he jumped on it and it just kind of squirted out on him. Nonetheless, Mitchell's going to take over at the 24-yard line. They're going to sweep here to number 20, and 20 is going to try to get to that sideline.
Man, Simon Hendricks just got blown up right under his kind of his elbow. I'm not sure how that wasn't blocking the back. There's a new rule now, or a couple of years ago, you cannot block going back. You can see it right here.
Yeah, and a blindside block. That's a great replay. Definitely should have been a penalty, because Simon's got his head going towards the play, and the defender comes in and hits him in the back.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they missed that one from down there, but that stuff happens. Move on and go to the next play.
Well, this time the quarterback's going to option, and he's going to be met in the backfield immediately by a slew of arrows led by number 28, Caden Decker.
52, Blake Winches was back there. That was a good play by the Arrows defense. If you're going to run an option like that, the running back got to get wide. you can see right here, number 28 keeps contain on it, but
yeah, Decker does a good job of slowing it down, and then I believe was that Austin Johnson that kind of swallowed him up and came and cleaned it up.
yeah, I think so.
So Micah Hawk is going to come back in, and this time he's gonna take up that whole middle of that defensive line. So this time they're going to drop back to pass, looking short again.
Thought Sparks was going to get his fourth one on the year, Sam.
Sparks was, oh boy.
I think he's getting bored back there. They're lulling him to sleep running the ball the whole night.
You know, I don't know if I can handle another Sparks pick six.
The intensity's not as high right now. you won't lose your voice after him. I can bet on that.
That's fair. So speaking of Sparks, he's going to be back to return the punt here. He's setting up camp right around the 40-yard line.
He better scoot up a little bit. He wants to get a few more touches tonight.
So the punt is off, and he's going to have to scoot up a lot. On another, see if he's just going to let this one bounce. It's going to take a Mitchell bounce, and Arrows are going to take over. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter. Your Watertown Arrows have a commanding lead and really are able to do kind of outside of the fumble on the bad exchange. Arrows have really been able to do whatever they want.
Yeah, besides that fumble and then maybe a missed extra point, maybe a missed onside recovery. They've been in control all night. You'd love to see them get one more score on the board here before halftime. Again, now if they do that, barring a big play, there probably won't be a lot of time left on the clock, especially the way Mitchell runs the ball. So put some points on the board here and kind of just knock the Mitchell Kernels out of it.
I'd really like to see Juven kind of impose his will here. They're in a traditional run formation, and we typically see them run out of this formation. They're going to play action this time. Hemrick's got a guy barreling down on his back, and sadly he can't get away from him. That's going to be a sack by number 80 for the Mitchell Kernels. That's going to be Luke LeBrun. 6'3", 185-pound sophomore.
I don't know. He might have got by our left tackle, Michael Hawk there, or they brought another guy off the edge. You said number 80?
Yeah, it was number 80.
He looks like the defensive end. He might have just got by
Micah.
Got by Micah there and made a great play and a huge loss on first down.
Yeah, it's going to set up a 2nd and 18 with 3 minutes to go on the 34-yard line. We're going to have 2 wide receivers, 2 up top, 2 at the bottom. Juven's going to be to Hemrick's left. He's going to drop back to pass. He's got some time, and boy, I spoke too soon. He does not have time. He gets swallowed up right away. A great tackle by Mitchell, number 64. That's Sean Foote.
Yeah, I mean, another sophomore.
Yeah.
You know, Mitchell's got this young team, and their pass rush to come alive right when they needed to here.
Yeah, and he does a good job of getting back there, and then he gets Hemrick's hips, and it's hard to get out of there. I mean, once that defender's got your hips and he's got 2 hands wrapped around you, it's hard to break out of that.
You know, those defensive linemen don't always get a lot of sacks when they get their hand on the quarterback. They're not letting him go too often.
So it's going to set up a 3rd and 26. So we'll see what Coach Hodor has got dialed up here on 3rd and forever. They're going to hand off to Juven. Juven's got a nice hole there, and he's going to be tackled after a gain of a few yards. So it's going to set up 4th and forever. But that being said, the clock continues to tick. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Mitchell's going to get the ball back with about 1.5 minutes left. Probably see a couple handoffs, maybe a run, and we'll get out of here, moving to halftime.
Got a couple return men back there again. Mitchell's going to have a whole lot to lose. Make sure you keep an eye on any type of throwback or any type of exchange back there.
So the punt's away, and it is a good one, and Mitchell's going to run up on it and fair catch it. So minute 29, I was a little bit off.
20 on the fair catch.
Take over with minute 29 as opposed to a minute 30.
You know, there's, again, the way that Mitchell runs the ball here, they just don't have a lot of clock. I'm almost surprised they didn't call a timeout after that 3rd down stop.
37-yard line.
But, you know, they're going to have to go in hurry-up mode here, and I can't imagine that's something they do a ton. So we'll see what they do here.
Mitchell's going to trot out number 15, TJ Jealous again. We haven't seen a lot of Lucas Chenoweth, the senior quarterback, yet tonight. It's been primarily Jealous, and we'll see if they're going to look to throw the ball here. They're going to have to push it upfield more than these slants and flats and screens that they've been doing. They are going to pass, and it is going to be that wide receiver screen. He's going to bring it back up into the middle of the field. He's got a block. He's going down the sideline. He's chased down from behind, but he's going to take it all the way about to the 30-yard line. And ladies and gentlemen, that's number 2, Tyson Sabers.
Arrows. You know, a good screenplay here by Mitchell. Really a good throw, but kind of a screen coming back to the middle. We used to call that a rocket screen. Arrows defense over pursue a little bit, and that offensive line set up a wall for him to follow back across the middle of the field.
Well, we've got something going here now. This time they're going to pitch. He's going to make a cut back, and then he's going to bounce it back outside, where he's met again by a slew of Arrow defenders. I'm telling you, man, this Arrow defense is very, very hard to run against.
You know, I just said how they over pursue a little bit too much.
Timeout.
Oops, sorry about that.
Timeout of the half.
Yep, there's your timeout by Mitchell there. 57 seconds left. So you were saying?
Yeah, how Watertown's Arrows defense pursues so fast. You can almost take advantage of them on that a little bit, like on those screen plays when you come back in the middle. But when you just do a basic toss play, I mean, those 11 guys fly to the football. You saw it there, and you don't take advantage of them twice in a row.
Yeah. So if you're Mitchell, you got second down here. You got looks like 2nd and 14. You got 32 yards to go. You're doing anything to give your team a spark.
Right.
So what do you dial up here?
You know, obviously, just with the time and everything, it's always going to be 4-down territory right now. You got to get some points on the board just to feel like you got a chance. You know,
right.
Going into the second half. If you're them, you got to. Maybe what I do and what they're doing are going to be different, but you don't expect they're going to do another type of screen in some way, shape, or form, or something creative. The halfback pass probably wouldn't work at this point in the game, so I expect another type of screenplay by them.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see him push the ball downfield a whole lot on film. We'll see if they do it now on a 2nd and 13. Gonna drop back, and then this time, what a great catch! That's a one-handed catch on a slant. We see it time and time again. That slant right over the middle. Tyson Sabers makes a phenomenal one-handed catch. It's going to set up a first down.
It really froze the defense, him kind of patting up in the air to himself. That was a great catch.
Yeah, that was a fantastic catch. And you're going to go deep. It's going to be picked off by your Arrows. And that's going to, imagine that. It's going to be Owen Sparks. An incredible season by Owen Sparks, number 35 for your Arrows. 5'10" senior, gets his 4th one of the year.
I told you he's getting bored over there. That's on purpose. They're not trying to throw at him. At this point, they gotta force as much as they can. He takes advantage and steps in front of an out route. And lucky he doesn't take that one all the way
Well,
back.
that's what I was gonna say. It looked like as soon as he caught it, it looked like he took a knee. I wonder if we can get a replay here and see if we can get the tail end of that. So it looked like as soon as he caught it, it just looked like he went down to a knee. And 39 seconds left. It's a phenomenal play by Sparks, who's been just an absolute wreck on defense all year.
They might take a shot here, Sam.
We'll see what they do. I mean, you got 4 wide receivers and Juven, and they're going to hand off to Juven here. He's going to bounce one around a little bit. He's going to tackle the short gain, maybe right at the line here. So it looks like Coach Hodor is going to let the clock run here. Let the run. Maybe they run one more play.
They're not in a hurry either way.
No.
If they do, it's just going to be a knee or another run play. It looks like they're going to let it run to half. I think it was under the 35 seconds. So I think it looks like they're just going to let this one go to half. Sam.
Yeah, it looks like they're content going up at halftime, up 20-0, and you know what? I'm content with that.
Yeah, at this point, you just don't want to force a mistake, a fumble or something, put
especially,
on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, especially where you're at on the field. You're 10 yards, 9 yards away. So, resetting the first half real fast. Arrows take a 20-0 lead. Juven Hudson leading the way with 12 carries with 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hemrick not to be outshined. He's got 13, 1, 2, 3, 10 of 12, 9 of 12 for 143 yards. Not bad.
No, a lot of it's come on those play action plays, those play action passes to the fullback in the slot. Obviously, he had a touchdown across the middle. He had one deep pass play down the sideline. That was the one to his receiver. That was Krantz. That was Colin Krantz.
Yep,
so he's been efficient tonight. He had a really good scramble to pick up a first down. Really good first quarter by the Arrows. Second quarter, they were a little slower, a little bit quieter on offense and defense. Expect Hodor to get in there and trim out a little bit. Say this game's not over yet. Don't take this team for granted. We've seen what they did last week with some momentum. So come out in the third quarter and defense and try to put away right away.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's not the Houston Astros garbage cans. That's the Watertown Arrows trash cans
Wow.
that are coming out.
Wow.
Playoff baseball right around the corner.
I didn't think you were going to throw that in there.
So we're going to go and take a quick break here, and we'll leave you to, it looks like either the Arrows marching band or flag corps. Arrows some sort is going to take you away to halftime. We're going to take a break.
Please welcome to their field your Watertown Arrows Marching Band. Drum majors are Kylie Hansen, Grace Remmers, and Joshua Thorson. The percussion instructor is Garrett Buchanan. The color guard instructor is Brenda Ingalls. Director of the bands is Austin Fordham. Please welcome the Watertown Arrows Marching Band as they take you to a galaxy far away.
I'm Trent Herrick, and you're watching Arrow Football on Arrow TV.
On behalf of your friends and neighbors at Premier, thank you and God bless America.
Hi, this is Coach Hodor, and you are watching Arrow Football on Arrow TV. Go Arrows!
You'll find your employees cheering in the stands, volunteering at events, and supporting local charities. You'll also find them helping their friends and neighbors.
All right, Tyson, we are back. We went and ventured outside of our little booth here, and I feel like that was a mistake because it is cold.
For once, we're the most comfortable people in here. Everyone else is kind of cold out there, but it's perfect temperature in here.
You know what? You're not wrong. Like we probably have the best seat in the house right now, temperature-wise. But so let's talk about temperature. We were out there, we were walking around, we were by the field. It's cold.
It's a little chilly out there tonight. We'll see how the Arrows respond in this second half, coming out, hopefully just kind of finishing off and end this game. But it's chilly out there. Some of those younger guys will get in. Hopefully they can stay warm so they're ready for that end of that third, beginning of the fourth quarter when they get in there. But yeah, it's cold out there.
So let's talk about the first half a little bit. We reset the stats before we broke away for halftime. The Arrows dominated that first quarter and looked like the number 4, potentially the number 3 team in the state. And then the second quarter, they didn't.
Yeah, the word that we used was complacent. That's kind of how they looked out there. You can feel that the game is in hand and that you're probably going to win this game. That does not mean you take your foot off the gas and you let Mitchell back in this or feel like they have a shot. It's when you go and end them. And they had a couple drives down here, ended it with a turnover, and had to force a few punts. But it's not what you expected. I was thinking they'd be up 30 to 40 nothing at half. Just by the way the first quarter started, Juven had I think 44 yards rushing on the first drive, ends the half with 62. So they started off hot. Everything was going in their favor, and then it's like they took their foot off the gas. So I want to see them come out in the second half, get back to what we saw in that first quarter, put Mitch on us in completely, and then you can put the young guys in.
Yeah, so Watertown is going to be starting off defense. Watertown's going to kick the ball. Is there a possibility that we see that surprise onside again?
You can only surprise a team with that usually once in a night. The more we looked at it again, I think that was the kicker that had his hands on the ball. Sparta's not on the kickoff team.
I would be willing to bet you 37 cents and a blizzard.
Well, I already went and watched the film, so I guess you owe me a 37 cents.
Did you watch the film on it?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Say you didn't.
No, we'll see. We'll have to watch the film, but I'll take your bet.
It's definitely a blizzard bet. I'm pretty confident that it was Sparts.
Regardless, I don't think they're going to do it again. I don't think they're going to do it again. You'd like to think that the Mitch team's a bit more prepared for it now. Again, not that this game's out of hand by any means. You don't want to come out and try to maybe rub it in if you feel like the game's out of hand, which it's not at this point yet. But I want to see him kick it off deep, pin him deep. Arrows will be, I guess we don't know yet. I thought they were going to be coming into the win. So just set your defense up, get your offense good field position to kind of end this ball game here.
Yeah, I think it's important for the Arrows to finish this game off, to finish it strong. This is a team, the Arrows playing Mitchell is a team that you should be able to impose your will on. And they did that the first quarter, and we didn't see much of it the second quarter. Complacency has been talked about. And if you're Coach Hodor and the coaching staff of the Watertown Arrows, are you talking complacency at half, or are you just saying, hey, let's just get through this? And
yeah, I think they went in and got a little bit of a butt chewing. And he said, hey guys, this game is not over yet. It's far from done. We're going to come out with our foot on the gas here and go right at them like we did in that first quarter. It's going to be aggressive. It's going to be fast. It's going to be physical on defense. I expect to see that here in the first drive, second drive of the second half.
Well, let's talk about stats a little bit. Juven's got 62 on 12 carries, so in order for him to hit my 201-yard prediction, he's got to have a big second half.
Yeah, 140 plus, here coming for him. Which, again, if I think before it gets to that point now, with them already being up 20, I don't expect the defense to let anybody score here. So before they get to that point, he'll probably be out of the game. Like I told you at the start, though, this is that point in the season where things need to be start getting ramped up. You can't have the mental mistakes. You can't have the, again, the complacency set in. It's got to be worked on to get to the point where it's flawless. So when you get into the playoffs, if you do play a team that may be a little bit inferior round one, or you play a team that's maybe a little bit better than you in the second or third round, there can't be any of these lapses or any of these, false starts or delays in a drive. I mean, you gotta really be firing at that point. So I want to see more than anything a clean second half to get ready for Spearfish next week.
So looking at scores from around the state, Aberdeen Central is beating Brookings 7-0 at half, so that's a little bit of a surprise. Yankton's beating Sioux Falls Roosevelt 21-7. Nice to see the AA team up on the AAA team at the end of one. The game that we really need to pay attention to is T and Spearfish. T is up big on Spearfish with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, 42-13 T. And then rounding out the rest of AA, Pier up on Huron 21-0 at half. And then Sturgis Brown is up on Belfouche 26-0.
I want to talk about that Brookings game. We were lucky to get them the first game of the year.
Yeah.
Brookings isn't quite where Watertown is right now this year. They played a lot of young guys, and I'm not surprised tonight that they're playing Aberdeen Central tough. They're going to be a little bit of a force here in the next year or two.
If Brookings is able to pull off that upset and beat Aberdeen, it gives the Arrows a little bit of wiggle room, because Aberdeen is right behind them in the standings.
Right. Just the way we're looking at it tonight, I expect to win tonight. Obviously, before we get too carried away, I expect them to really play well against Spearfish as well. Everything is kind of setting up for that T football game here again in a few weeks. Something that you and I can look forward to. The players can't. But again, I think you're going to tell me that we're going to be there for any viewers that have joined us a little bit later.
Yeah. So great segue, Tyson. For anybody that's viewing us or that's tuning in a little later. All signs are pointing that Arrow TV will be going to T in a couple of weeks. It's setting up to be a big game for playoffs and playoff seedings, and everything works out okay. I mean, the Arrows are going to be hosting a home game, a home playoff game.
Let's figure out when the last time they did that was, but that'll be special for this football team, this town, this community. It'll be fun to have a playoff game here. Not sure who it is yet. That's definitely too far out to speculate on, but
sure.
Just getting that home playoff game. That's gonna be great for this town.
Yeah, it'll be great for the team, for the coaches, for the parents, for the community. Shoot, it'll be great for us.
Yeah, we get to work an extra night.
Yeah, we get an extra game, and just have you ever called a playoff game before?
I have not.
I haven't either, so it'll be a first for both of us. So it'll be great. So the Arrows are gonna kick off here. Let's see. Now they're gonna kick with the wind at their back. And the last time they did that, the big murder leg of Tommy Foley punched it all the way through the back of the end zone. Let's see if he's able to do that again today.
I think
with
this wind in his back, I'm guessing he's going to. This is what you thought. Obviously, Mitchell's going to like to receive. Watertown's going to kick with the wind. This defense is going to have a good starting spot here.
So the ball's going to go all the way down to about the 5. Kind of muffed a little bit. A lot of east and west here by the returner before he finally brings it upfield and gets knocked down at about the 15-yard line.
Now it's almost turned a little bit more of a crosswind here, but again, Mitch is going to be under that wind a little bit. Hopefully the Arrows get a quick 3 and out, send that defense or that offense out with the way they're punting, probably even on your side of the football field right here.
Good job by Marcus Fossum. Number 81, the junior, 5'10", 175-pound junior.
We haven't called your guy Lincoln Scott's name yet on special teams.
Well, we got to call Marcus Fossum. We haven't called Fossum's name yet this year, so he did a good job of running him down, staying with him. Shows off his speed a little bit. Fun fact, pretty good softball player, too.
Is he?
He is. So Mitchell's going to take over here. 1st and 10, they're going to keep on a quarterback option right up the middle. That looked like more of a wildcat, yeah?
It was
21.
They faked that. I didn't see who carried it, but yeah, they faked that speed sweep again. Giving Watertown another look on defense. This run game has been creative start to finish so far.
I wonder if we can get a replay of that real quick. That looked like the wildcat. That looked like the running back, number 21, Mick Daly. And here we go, right here.
They are still in it.
Yeah, so they're in the wildcat here. So they're trying to get the ball in their playmakers' hands. as frequently as they can. And this time he gives it off to 14. 14's going to make a guy miss, and then he's going to get swallowed up again by 3 arrows led by number 67, Caden Beauchamp, number 4, Schulte, and there was one more in there too that I missed, number 35, Sparks with the Spark.
Simon Hendricks missed that tackle there. Oh, no, this is 2 plays ago.
No, this is this last one.
Oh, yeah, he gave it to Ford. Yeah, Simon missed that tackle right there. Kind of almost stuck him at the line of scrimmage, but again, Arrows defense rallies, 3 hats to the ball. They make a good gang tackle on him.
So they're going to stay in the Wildcat here with the running back, number 20, Patrick Denny, taking the snap. They snap it to 21, and again, sleight of hand. They fake it and then hand it off to number 20, Parker Denny, right up the middle.
You got a punt here. Yep. Looks like they're sending the punt team out. So again, we'll see if the Arrows, just with how they've been punting before and punting again into that wind. Let's see where Sparks lines up here. Right on the 50, taking a step up.
Number 2, Tyson Sabers.
He's right in the heart of that W.
Arrows, number 35, Owen Sparks.
So Sparks back to return it. Let's see what kind of spark that young man can give us. And he might have an opportunity to return.
Pick it up. Oh,
nope.
Just a good Mitchell bounce there.
Yep. So even still, even with the good Mitchell bounce, the Arrows are going to take over with fantastic field position. 40-yard line. 10 minutes left in the third quarter. We'll see if we get a heavy dosage of the run game here.
Yeah, I expect that physicality to be back and show here for the Arrows. 3-4 run plays. They plan on being in the end zone here pretty quick.
Yeah, I'd really like to see the Arrow offensive line really impose their will on this 3-4 defense. Get past the first line, get into the second line. Let's see Juven open in space. So we'll see what they can do here with an I formation. They are going to hand off to Juven.
There you go.
Juven gets into that.
Oh, man.
One away from breaking it.
65, is that Lambert? Yeah, it is. I know it's hard for running back to do, but if he slows down one step, we'll be able to see it here and lets Lambert hit this block instead of kind of juking him out.
Great job of Lambert pulling.
He's just got to let him. He's got to let him do that block there. Then he follows him outside, and he's off to the races there.
Yep, absolutely. That's going to be a good talking point and a good coaching point when they go over film, whether it's tomorrow or Monday. But you're absolutely right. If Juven slows down a little bit, Lambert was right there.
He wanted to do it himself, and got to let your guard lead the way on that one.
So they're going to hand off to Juven again. He's going to be swarmed up by 3 or 4 white jerseys, but he's going to fall forward for a good couple-yard gain.
45-yard line, a gain of 2 on the play.
Again, physical, downhill football. This is what the Arrows want to do. This is how they're successful. This is what we saw in that first drive.
And the thousands and thousands of fans that are in attendance are appreciative of the clock continuing to run.
They are. I can see everybody's coats on now, their hats are on. At the end of the first half, not every coat, not every blanket was on, not every hat. Now they're all in use.
I did see a guy come up with about 9 hot chocolates earlier.
Did you really?
I did. He had 2 trays just full of hot chocolates. As Emmerich is in the shotgun here, he's going to roll our way. Toward his body, he's got a guy, and he just misses number 17, Marcus Pitkin.
I think he's got another split second there to get his shoulders set, square his feet, deliver a little bit better throw.
If he squares up a little bit. I mean, it's a tough play.
It is. That sideline's closing quick for his receiver. He wasn't a lot of time for the receiver to really make a great play there, but I think Mr. Emmerich had another half second if he could have squared his shoulders on and delivered a little bit better throw.
See what the Arrows dial up here on 3rd and 8 with trips to the right this time. Emmerich is going to drop back. He's looking left. He's got his guy right there, Cohen Kranz, with an incomplete pass. Good job by number 10, Dustin Kurtenbach, breaking that one up.
We're gonna see it here. This is the Arrows coach staff wants Mr. Kranz to come. Well, that was an out. I thought it was a hitch. It was an out. Let's say he's got to come back to the ball there a little bit. But that was an out. It's got to be thrown on that outside shoulder a little bit more then.
See if we can pin him back deep and take advantage of the wind. Good spiral punt. It's going to take the Kernels down to about the 25-yard line where the Kernels will take over on 1st and 10.
He had some good hang time on that punt. He had the wind, but yeah, it was a nice spiraled punt for what I would consider a high school fullback / linebacker. I didn't know he could quite punt like that.
He does it all. And every once in a while he'll take that punt and he'll put it up into his chest and he'll run for a 1st down.
Was he the one that was doing it at the beginning of the year? Was that Mr. Briggs that was taken off with it when he was?
I think Wenches has done it once.
Okay.
All right, so Mitchell's got the ball back and sleight of hand again this time, and it's going to go for a whole lot of nothing.
Again, at least the defense has continued to look sharp to start the second half. Offense was fine, just a few just a missed pass here or there, but defense looks sharp to start the second half.
You know, Mitchell's not able to move the ball a whole lot, but I'm telling you, like, for Mitchell's fans that may be watching, you got a pretty bright future. I like the coach.
Oh, yeah.
The coach, for one, is just a super, super nice guy. But his playbook is pretty creative. We've seen a Wildcat. We've seen different quarterbacks. A lot of sleight of hand. As we see here, this time the Wildcat formation, and they go right up the middle. But it's just, we talked about it a lot. It's just so hard to run against this Arrows defense.
Right. The creativity has been nothing short of fantastic. It's just the opponent tonight is a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. They're just swarming everything right now. The safeties aren't really playing that deep. The corners aren't respecting a whole lot of the pass. Everybody's playing up and tight, kind of challenging Mitchell to go over the top on them.
Looks like Chenoweth, or no, that's Jealous here. Number 15, Jealous is going to be back. The standard quarterback. He's going to be under center, and he's about to get just hammered from behind.
Mr. Decker, or was that Winches?
I think that was Winches.
It was.
Woof! That was just a shot on the blind side by Winches. Replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. Went right around the tackle and just met him in the backfield.
You know, that was a great play. The only thing the coach should tell on film tomorrow, he's got no idea you're there. Take a swipe at that ball. See if you can punch it out. Great tackle.
Yeah.
But see if we can get that ball on the 1 or 2 yard line next time instead.
Sparks muffs the punt and picks it up and was able to secure it and even pick up a yard or two.
5 yards.
Just fortunate that the Arrows were able to get that one back.
I think Sparks was trying to run with it there maybe before he caught it. But thankfully, he picks it up and even gets a few yards out of it. So the Arrows are going to have, again, just absolutely phenomenal field position.
Yeah, I think he was just happy to finally be able to catch a punt, maybe to return it tonight. Probably caught him off guard a little bit, and it slipped out of the hands, but able to pick it right back up, get a yard or two, and get this Arrows offense back on the field.
Big Micah Hawk may have been shaken up a little bit on that play. He's right in front of us here with his hands on his hips, so hopefully that young man's okay. He's got a bright future as Henrik hands off to Juven. Juven's going to make one guy miss, and he's going to slip out of another tackle, and he's pick up a few yards. That is carry number 15 for Juven on the night.
You know, I know we talked about Watertown being a little complacent on offense and, you know, not forcing the issue as much, but this Mitchell defense, not missing tackles since that first drive either. They're flowing, they're tackling well. They've done a much better job since that first half. Instead of just, you know, saying Watertown's taking it off the gas a little bit, Mitchell has been playing a lot better on defense this last 2 quarters.
Great point on your part. I mean, give credit where credit is due. You know, they've done a good job of stifling this Watertown Arrow offense as Henrik hands off to Juven.
Again.
And Juven's up for another just a couple yards, but you know, it's almost as soon as Juven gets the ball, he's met with not 1 but 2 and sometimes 3 and 4 Kernels right there on it.
Right, even when the Watertown has picked up, you know, a 5, 10, 12-yard running game play, they come right back and they're just turning the page and they're playing a lot better on defense that next play and that next series. So they've been a lot better at this, like I said, second, third quarter here so far tonight.
Yeah, they really have. And in the blink of an eye, the third quarter is almost done.
Yeah, I don't know if we really haven't had any pass plays, and that clock has stayed running.
Yeah, it really has. So we'll see. It looks like the Arrows might run again here on 3rd and 5, and as Henrik's under center, and he does hands off to the up back, and that's Wenches, who does what Wenches does, and that's get touchdowns or first downs. In this case, it's a first down.
You know, part of me again was hoping he wasn't going to make, because I wanted to see if the Watertown Arrows would kick a field goal from there. Just from what I saw in pregame, I still want to see it, but we'll have a chance for that later tonight then.
Well, the clock continues to tick, and now we approach the 5-minute mark and surpass the 5-minute mark. Your Watertown Arrows up 20-0 and driving down the field here, trying to get one more into the end zone here. As the huddle breaks, and we've got 2 on the left here and 1 on the right with Juven the single back, and they hand off to Juven, who goes to the right, and again, met by a ton of Kernels.
God, was that number 64? Sean Foote, that was a good tackle. Again,
number 64,
yeah, it was that sophomore. We got a few sophomores making a couple good plays out of that defensive line.
You know, one thing that we didn't talk about with the Kernels, this is Coach Larson's first year with the Kernels. could be a new offense. This could be all brand new to them, and in football more so than really any other sport, it takes time.
It does.
I mean, you can't fix it overnight.
It absolutely does. These guys, they look like a really well put together team. Maybe not all the talent there right now, or enough guys just to carry the load, but they are playing extremely hard. Have really not seen any letdowns after that first quarter, and they've been answering the ball really at every turn here.
Good job by the Arrow offense on the wide receiver screen there to Marcus Pitkin, enough to pick up nine. It's going to be a 3rd and 1 on the 11. So the Arrows are knocking on the door of touchdown number 4 here. See if they can pick up a first down here and potentially a touchdown. Back to the eye. Wenches the lead back. Juven is going to split out. There goes Wenches. It does what Wenches does.
He's going to get in.
Carries about 14 guys.
Yep, he's in. He can smell that goal line, Sam.
What a dog.
He is not to be denied when he gets down near that goal line.
What a dog. This Wenches just says, you know what, I'm going to take all y'all on my back. I'm going to carry every one of you in for a touchdown.
He must not know he already had a first down. He didn't realize it was 3rd and 1. He thought it was 1st and goal, and he said, I can't not touch the ball and either get a first down or a touchdown. So
that's what he does.
He had to push him all the way in.
That's what he does. Every time he gets his hands on the ball, it's a first down or a touchdown.
Again, we talked about it for the Arrows. How do you game plan against this team? I said I know Juven might be the focus, but these guys got 3-4 different guys touching the ball consistently. It's tough.
That is an absolute laser of a kick for the extra point.
It was.
The only thing that I'm surprised by that kick is that we didn't see a brown streak behind it because it was just booted off the foot.
You don't even want to block that because that was going to sting if you hit it, especially on a cold night.
That'll break a couple fingers.
Yeah. Mitchell guy's probably lucky he just went through the uprights. But 27-0, Sam. This is a better start to the second half, even though it's only 1 score, but a lot of clock off. They've been physical, pounding the ball. Defense has obviously been sharp. Good start to the second half.
Yeah, Spencer Wench is just out there doing his thing, does what he does, picks up first downs, carries guys to touchdowns. Awfully impressive by that young man. His maturation from game 1 to now game 7 is pretty impressive.
The Arrows have been a whole lot better with him on this team, obviously. And week 1, Simon went out. Austin Johnson and Winches came back week 3. And then when they got back against Washington, when they had the whole gang, Simon was still out, but then we lost Briggs. So still haven't seen this whole team together yet. We're just hoping by the time, that first week of the playoffs is here. If not, at that T game, Watertown's got a full, healthy roster they can send their A game out there with.
So for the Arrows, number 39, Tommy Foley having a hard time. Stalked and hunted down again by Marcus Fossum.
That Arrow kickoff team's getting down there fast tonight.
Tell you what, I want to see Foley just bang a 57-yard field.
The wind, I don't know if it's died down a little bit or if it's more of a crosswind now. Going to be a tough one for him to do, but again, I didn't see Sparts out there, Sam, on the kickoff.
Well, just because he wasn't there that time doesn't mean he wasn't there the first time.
Did I say Sparts?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know what you meant.
I can't wait to get home, and I'll probably watch it before I even get out of the parking lot, see if I got a free blizzard coming on early next week.
Thankful to Arrow TV that you're able to watch that to prove yourself wrong. It's Mitchell.
Oh! Jaden Lambert! Jaden Lambert sniffs out the screen, and the big man gets a pick 6.
What a nice catch.
Get that man a blizzard. Good gravy.
He's going right to Coach Horov and say, hey, I can play fullback too on those play action
he's
little passing routes to the flat.
Smelled the rat, sniffed it out, saw it on tape. Great hands. He stuck his big paws out there.
I can't wait to see that again.
Devours it and takes it in for a touchdown. Replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. Look at him go, and then he steps back. Great athleticism from that big young man, and pounds it home for 6.
You think somebody's going to tackle him on the 1-yard line? Looking for I'm just guessing, one of his first touchdowns, if not his first touchdown of his life. Better off just to get off the train tracks for him there.
We're fortunate to have the Lamberts right here in front of us.
His folks are trying to watch it on replay here. We got to turn the TV for him.
That's a pretty cool moment for them and for us, having Jaden Lambert's parents right in front of us turning around and trying to check out the replay. That's a lot of fun.
With the snap evident.
His second career touchdown, it sounds like.
Yeah, fantastic.
12 men.
What a good experience for us.
He still wasn't being denied on the 1 yard line.
Absolutely not. And who's going to tackle that kid at the 1 yard line? I'm not.
As you can see, they dove at his ankles to tackle him. So good luck with that.
Just a sensational individual effort by a very talented young man.
I got no idea what's going on in the field right now. Having too much fun talking to his folks in front of us.
Well, yeah,
looks like it must have been a penalty. Winches is the quarterback.
What's Winches doing? Winches is going under center.
QB sneak. He's in.
He's in there.
Yep, he's in.
So because all he does is get first downs and touchdowns, I mean, 2-point conversion will add it to the mix for him. The Arrows are going to go up by a score of 35-0 by the phenomenal individual effort by Jaden Lambert, not to be outdone by Wenches for the 2-point conversion.
Was there a defensive penalty there?
There must have been. I don't know.
Move up to the 1.
Bad job on us. We were too busy interacting with the Lamberts and enjoying that.
Wasn't very professional. We might get fired before the playoffs, Sam.
Maybe we will. So interception return for 6 by number 65, Jaden Lambert. Just a heck of a play. Super fun to watch. And as we can see right here in front of us, Arrow TV is on the replay directly in front of us on a cell phone.
That's pretty cool.
That's fantastic. I love that so much. That might be like one of my favorite memories of the
Somebody
of the
watching us
already.
right in front of us?
Just
watching
a foot
Arrow
in front
TV?
of us, just watching Arrow TV, watching the pick 6.
That is pretty cool.
That's pretty fantastic.
Well, 35-0. The second half couldn't start out much better, Sam.
No, really good. Murder Lake takes one all the way down here to inside 5. Going to be returned right up the middle.
81. Having a field day on kickoff.
I tell you what, Fossum, have yourself a day. That's what, his 3rd tackle of the day for Fossum?
Yeah, Fossum's all over the kickoff here. We're missing, Scott's not getting any tags because Fossum's taking them all.
Hey, you know what?
As long as they're getting him down back within that 20-yard line, don't matter who's getting him down.
Hodor says, you know what, young man, you've done such a good job on special teams. Why don't you stay out there on defense?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Got a running clock at this point?
You know, I don't know all the AA rules for running clock, so I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. I would have thought it was more than 35 though.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that too.
I think it is more than 35. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that too, that the clock continues to run.
McDaly, number 21.
Maybe in the second half it's a little bit less.
Parker Denny, number 20 on the carry for.
Maybe it's 35. Maybe that's why they went for 2.
Yeah, very well could be. Shame on us. We'll figure that out before we hit up T.
They'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
So 2nd and 10, minute 50 left. Arrows are up 35-0. We'll see if they can hold on here, hold on to the shutout for another quarter and change. Mitchell's going to drop back to pass, and
there's another one.
Another interception, and Wenches
he's all over tonight.
All everything. Spencer Wenches picks it off on a tip ball, right?
Yeah, that was another great play by the Arrow defense. Like you said, I didn't want to say yet, but they like that 0 on the board, and they want to stay.
And see, the clock is continuing to run even on even on a change of possession.
I bet it is 35. I don't know if that's why they ended up going for 2 then.
Yeah, that makes sense. So great job by Spencer Wenches. We got the replay here brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. Looks like Beauchamp maybe tipped it at the line and maybe went off the receiver's hand. And
I don't know if it was Beauchamp or Lambert. Lambert's on that side, but
looked like 67.
Tough to see on that replay there.
So Hemrick is going to pass.
I thought it was number 9, about a yard short.
And goes out to number 10, Cohen Krantz.
I meant the 9th touchdown, by the way, but yeah, just about a yard short.
1 yard line.
Yep, so that'll set up
making a tackle for
a second
number 24, Braden.
and goal at the 1.
Winch is coming back out. He said, you guys are too close to the end zone not to have me on there.
You know what?
Fullback dive time or quarterback sneak time?
Just give it to Jaden Lambert.
Might as well. Career touchdown number 3 coming?
Yeah. Just put him in at fullback and hand it off and get out of the way.
Now who's number 30, Sam?
So number 30 for the Arrows is back there, and that's going to be Malik Decker. 5'7".
Getting his first touchdown.
They're going to hand off to him.
But
we got there is a penalty. That's typically in the area of holding, no? Let's see what the ref says.
It's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. There'll be one more play, I guess. But
We'll cast off to our friend, our zebra friend here, and see what he has to say. It's going to be on the arrow, so sadly for Malik, that touchdown will not count. Our Zebra friend did not hit his button.
Did he didn't say, did you say hands in the face?
Illegal block in the back.
Block in the back.
Offense, number 9. 10 penalty.
So it's funny that the block in the back, it's called on Austin Johnson, but I mean, I'm not going to bring up the incident that happened before. That wasn't called, but
I did see that one.
Gonna bring up second.
Not saying it didn't happen. I just didn't. I don't think I saw that one.
Well,
And
as the clock clicks to 0, that'll bring up the 4th quarter as the Arrow players and fans all hole up the number 4. Coincidentally enough, which is my softball jersey number, so maybe they're all celebrating me.
It's a little cold for softball, I think, Sam.
Fair enough. 35-0 Watertown Arrows as we head into the 4th quarter. We'll take a break, brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. And on the other side, we'll start the 4th quarter.
I'm Jackson Pollock, and you're watching Arrow Football on Arrow TV.
Well, Neil Diamond brings us into the 4th quarter. Touching me and touching you, Neil Diamond says.
This is a Watertown staple, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Sam?
Well, you know, when you're up 35-0, you know, you see the fans dancing in the stand, and we're getting a lot of that
Doesn't
right now.
Watertown always play this up at the 4th quarter of like basketball, football, everything?
Well, I think
You're the
it's-
Watertown
yeah,
alum, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, look at this great shot by Arrow TV. Look at the legendary Nick Kranz in there. Hemrick dropped back to pass. He's going to throw to the pylon just a little too much. Too much weight room for Trey Hemrick.
I want to say third and goal, but it's third and 11.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, it's 3rd and goal from the 11.
Gotcha.
No, yeah, because they had the block in the back. So incomplete pass. Look at that shot. Look at the back of that bald head you see right there. That's our fearless leader, Ryan Remmers. This whole thing doesn't happen without him or his bald head. So we're thankful for both him and his bald head.
He has been great to work with all year, Sam.
But I mean, you kind of get an idea of what Arrow TV is all about there. I mean, we're not just hanging out with the cell phone, right? I mean, we've got cameras, got a whole production crew back there. You know, they do a really good job as Hendrick goes in shotgun with the split backs. He's going to look to his right, snatched out of the air. That's a great catch. I didn't catch a number. But now we got camera on us. Number 7, that's Mitch Olson, no? Mitch Olson snatches it just out of midair. Touchdown Arrows.
Again, throwing a slant route to your biggest guy, going right across the middle there. Great throw and catch for the Arrows.
Oh, look at this. Turn around and say hi. Who's this?
You can see our.
You can see it. Yeah, you can really get the great view of our monstrosity of a booth in here now.
Yeah, it's quite the place we got here. It's always warm though. I will say that.
It is. Tonight it's nice and warm.
That's the best extra point the Arrows have had all night.
Kick is good. So 42-0 Arrows.
That one might have been good from 50 there, Sam.
I'm telling you what, man, these Arrow kickers. One of them's going to start kicking on Sunday here pretty quick.
I've been asking to see a long field goal attempt all night.
Well, Ozzy Osbourne's going to take us to another kickoff here for the Arrows. 42-0, 11 minutes and 1 second left in the 4th quarter. See if the Arrows can stay hot, hold on to this shutout, cruise into Spearfish at 5-2.
You know, we talked about that first quarter. 1-2 plays in the second quarter, it was 20-0. Now, 1-2 plays into that third quarter, you got 3 scores again. So, again, you don't expect the Arrows now to run the score, but you expect to get some younger guys in there here pretty soon. But a really good third quarter and change there a little bit. That's what you want to see him answer in the second half, Sam.
We're speaking of some of the younger guys. Where's number 41 Lincoln Scott at tonight?
He's on that kickoff team there. He's battling his boy
Fossum
for all those tackles.
Yeah, just right across from him.
I don't. Well, there.
So So back to kick, kicking into the wind and takes it all the way down to about the 10-yard line. It's muffed a little bit. Mitchell Kerner picks it up and takes it all the way down to about the 25. So good job after.
Number 20 got that tackle.
Number 20 for the Arrows.
Cole Hansen.
Cole Hansen, 5'9", 150-pound sophomore.
Number 20, Cole Hansen.
We'll see if we see a bunch of new numbers on the field here for defense. Looks like some, but not a lot.
First and 10.
Sparks is out of there, it looks like. Oh, number 20 stayed and made a tackle. You stay on the field, young man.
Yep.
Number 31's in there, corner. Braden Kleinsaucer.
Good. It's nice to see some guys that maybe not get to play all the time out there playing.
That clock, obviously now we talk about is running, so now the biggest thing is to keep that 0 on the scoreboard.
Gonna pitch back out here. Mitchell still has their starters on the field. Good tackle by your Arrow defender. That's number 11, Braden Ross. We've called his name a few times this year.
We have, and again, Nick Daly. That guy really runs hard. Again, 42-0. He's still putting his head down and just barreling into people.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're Mitchell, you continue to keep your starters in throughout the game, just to see if you can get some points on the board.
You know, this might be the last drive for it. Whatever their coaching staff does, you know, they have a rhyme and reason for it.
Sure.
I haven't been able to watch them all year the same way, but maybe just getting a few things execution-wise down.
Makes sense. See if you can, you can put some good things on tape.
And you always like to score too. So I could see this being their last drive. They said Beauchamp's out in front of us, so it's not our same front seven in there. Get a little momentum in their favor for next week. They still got some big games coming up too, so get something to build off of for the coming weeks.
Yeah. So looking ahead, the Spearfish game, our boys are going to travel across state, and they're gonna go up against a 5-2 Spearfish team next week. And that's going to be a big game.
Really, that's the one thing you worry about is on that that long trip. You do not want that to turn into a trap game. Going across the state, kind of looking at that third, fourth place game. You really got to do a great job as a coaching staff next week to keep the kids dialed in, locked in. Say the task at hand is to prepare and win this game. We'll deal with teeth, the week after.
Sure.
So they have to stay locked in. Otherwise, that is a trap game for you.
So coming into this week, Spearfish was 4-2. They came off of an upset loss last week against Mitchell, losing 35-28. They welcome T in, and currently T is up 49-13. So Spearfish in all likelihood is going to drop to 4-3. The Arrows are going to come in at 6-2.
Yeah.
Or 5-2, excuse me.
5-2.
Yeah.
That loss could be a little deceiving too. They're maybe looking forward to next week because it's they know it's a big game for their standing wise against Watertown. So you're expecting to see a few more tricks out of the Spearfish bag next week. Again, you do not want to catch Watertown. Watertown cannot be caught sleeping on that one. So.
Yeah, we talked about a trap game, right?
Yep.
So for any of our viewers that are out there listening, tell us what a trap game is. Explain what a trap game is.
Well, so you and I are the main culprits of it right now. Just talking about how big that T game is. These players, obviously, they're not talking about the playoffs with the coaches, but they know it too. It's in the back of their mind. They're thinking about it. Looking ahead, when you have a very formidable opponent right in front of you, let alone you're traveling across the state. If you come out sleeping in that one or not prepared or kind of what you did in the second quarter tonight, kind of overestimating your opponent a little bit, you're going to get caught in a trap, and that game won't go in your favor, and then you really jeopardize that playoffs if you drop that game.
Don't look now, but number 41, Lincoln Scott takes the field. I'd like to give my beautiful bride, Audrey Mooney, a shout out. She's watching us on Arrow TV. Appreciate you.
We know she didn't like to be cold, so we knew she was watching nice in the house.
Yeah, big fact. And then Tyson Deegan also watching Arrow TV tonight. So appreciate you both as Mitchell takes the ball on the other side of the 40, starts driving. If you're the Arrows and Mitchell picks up a few yards here, first down there, first down here, not a big deal. I mean, get these younger guys an opportunity to make a couple tackles. I mean, this is still, we got to remember, this is the Arrows' second team, potentially even the third team, going up against Mitchell's ones.
To me that is important. Even if a score is made here by Mitchell, it's more important to Watertown to get that depth, a little bit of experience, some of those guys. Obviously, you don't ever want them to score, but getting some of these other players from Watertown some reps is much more important. and obviously you don't expect to let them score, but maybe a turnover comes in here, you stop them on 4 downs. So keep your head up, keep playing, keep doing your job, keep rotating some guys in.
3-yard line.
Do your best to keep them out of that end zone.
Tyson Sabers has looked good tonight for Mitchell. Catches the ball well with his hands. He's got a big frame, 6'2", 200-pound senior. I mean, that's for college. That's kind of the build that you're looking for.
Yeah, he's had good hands out there too.
Great hands.
He's kind of snagged everything that's came his way. Again, a lot of those intermediate crossing routes, and that's tough to find those guys that run across the middle all the time.
Yeah, maybe Mitchell got away with a little bit of a block in the back there, but
good tackle by defense again. Number 17 keeping him within him there. Again, that's Pitkin.
Before he's upended by number 17, Marcus.
Is that number
Pitkin.
86 for the Arrows out there? Cooper Ketwig.
Is that the one that middle linebacker?
Yeah, just not stopping until the whistle blows. Hodor is going to love that.
He came in for Simon that first year when he got hurt. He's played
a
really good rotational defense for the Arrows. They haven't missed a beat with him in there either.
Yeah, he's the whole Arrow team tonight has just really done what you want them to do. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. Mitchell is giving up an average of 42 points per game. You want to be right around in that 42 points. You're right on it.
Number 52, Blake Wenches.
So it's a pretty impressive performance by Watertown, 42-0 as it sits right now.
Nash Berg just made a nice tackle in the backfield there, and they're giving him a breather now. But yeah, and again,
shout out to Nashberg Experience, Shannon and Jenny Berg, 2 great people.
But like we've said, that's the beauty of it. You don't need that first team defensive line or that first team unit in there. Whatever guys are sending in there, they're still performing at a high level right now. Here comes a blitz. Oh!
Yeah, right at the corner blitz. He's going to hang on to it and throw right over the middle. We've seen that slant into guess who?
Jealous' pass complete
guess
to
who? Number 2, Tyson Sabers.
For a first down.
Kleinstosser, number 31, doesn't stop coming around the edge there. He wakes up the quarterback's Dennis there. But he got held up a little on that play fake. He's got to keep finishing off there on the edge there, and he gets a nice sack.
Well, Mitchell's going to have the ball, looks like at the 5-yard line, all the way down at the 5. First and goal at the 5, which is about 3.5. Let's see if they can bend and not break. See if they can keep the shutout alive. Going back to the well.
Is that Decker?
That's tipped by
86
Cooper Ketwig. Yep. Yeah, back to the well. That we've seen that slant multiple times here.
Second and goal from the 6.
Great replay by our fine folks at Arrow TV to show Ketwig getting up there and the pass. Arrow faithful looks like they're going to get home maybe where it's a little more.
Tipped by number 86.
Most of the fans are still here.
You got 3 more plays to watch here. 3 more big ones.
2nd and 5 as the clock continues to run under 3 minutes now. Mitchell back in the shotgun.
Bringing a blitz. Oh!
This time he's going to get in for the touchdown to get off the schneid.
Yeah, he definitely has been his favorite target tonight. Nice big frame, good height. Runs a hitch route, pulls right there on that goal line. Good throw and catch. Again, Mitchell hasn't given up all night. Watertown might have a few different guys in there, but you don't expect anything less. And really good second half, honestly, by both teams.
Yeah, good play design by Coach Larson on that one. And got Sabers wide open there.
Yeah, I got him.
Looks like the extra point is good, so it's going to be 42-7.
Watertown Arrows 42 and Mitchell Kernels 7.
2 minutes and 51 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Before
I think we got somebody said something.
Yeah, that looks like we're getting a flag on Wenches.
Yeah, number 52, Blake Wenches.
Might get a personal foul on Wenches here.
I think so. You hate to see it, but there's a time it's going to happen. It's a good teaching moment right now to fix it.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Watertown, number 52. That'll be a 15-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff.
If I had to guess, I would think what happened was Spencer was telling the referee how nice of a job that he's doing, and him and his crew the whole game.
Yeah,
and
he probably did.
With the wind blowing as much as it is,
might have sounded a little different.
It's probably sounded a little different to the ref.
You could tell when that ref's mic went live. It is windy down there.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was just
just misunderstood him.
It's like the telephone game.
Yeah. That happens.
I have to believe that's probably what happens.
With this wind, I expect this to be put through the field goal post like you've been hoping for all night. That wind picked back up here a little bit again.
Well, they're going to kick off from the 45 with the wind at their back, so we'll see if he's going to kick off and take it all the way, or if he's going to do an onside. Go right down the middle, little squib kick. Arrows are going to let it roll into the end zone. They'll take over.
Kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. The Watertown Arrows will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20.
So a couple more shout-outs on Arrow TV. Some handsome fella that lives in Philadelphia. Last name Mooney.
Your son?
All the way in Pennsylvania watching us. So appreciate the support, young man. Keep doing good things. We love you and miss you.
Taking a few hours out of his time to watch the Arrows play.
Yep, all the way in Pennsylvania.
Very nice.
Arrow TV reaches all corners. Pretty cool.
We got a few different number 33 I haven't seen there before, and we got a few different guys in there.
Number 33 for your Arrows is Kessler Swenson.
39 is out there at receiver too. He's our kicker.
Yeah, that's Tommy Foley. That's Murder Leg. So number 30 for the
That was
Arrows.
a nice run.
That was a great
delivering
run.
the boom.
That's Malik Decker who had the touchdown, not touchdown. That's going to show up on Angry Runs on Monday.
Send that in.
Yeah, we should send that into Angry Runs.
See if we can get Kyle Brent to give us a shout out.
We love Kyle Brent.
Not us, him. But.
Yes, we love Kyle Brent. So Arrows are just going to be more than happy with running the ball here a couple times. Keep this clock running. Picking in for Hemrick at the quarterback position.
I want to see him run the ball again.
He's pretty quick. He's tall.
Do that QB sweep all the way out around to the left, the wide side of the field. And
yeah, he's 5'10", 165 pounds.
See if we can get a first down here.
We're going to sweep out here to Malik. He's going to try to get a corner.
That'll be the game then.
He's going to get around. Oh, he's going to stand.
Oh!
Man. I thought he was staying in bounds.
The handoff to number 30, Monique.
He had all sorts of green.
That's all she wrote, Sam. We can take a knee now.
Let's see. Does he get out of bounds here?
Braden Rendell for the
clock's running away.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to see if he stepped out. Looked like he did. The refs are definitely smarter and better looking there.
I know they're going to take a knee now, probably. I really want to see. That's not Pitkin playing quarterback, is it?
Yeah, it's number 17, Marcus Pitkin.
Oh, it is. Yep. Yeah, I still wanted to see him roll out, take off. But
they're going to
take a knee here. Nope.
We're going to hand off, and he's going to get swallowed up by a couple of Mitchell Kernels and put the ball on the ground. But the Arrows are going to recover. I think I'm going to go see if I can't find Coach Hodor and get an interview on the field here. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Tyson.
All right. Good luck down there. Stay warm. Looks like that'll do it for us here. Again, the Arrows are going to win the game 42-7. Look forward to the matchup next week with Spearfish heading out there. And again, we will try to, as of right now, make the trip out to T here in 2 weeks. Hopefully, if all goes well, we have a playoff game that will be on the air for. But tonight, again, it belongs to the Arrows. A commanding 42-7 win over Mitchell. Started off with a 20-0 halftime lead after a quick start to the first half. And the second half was more of the same. Got some younger guys in there at the end. We're able to finish off on a positive note. So congrats to the Mitchell Kernels on a hard-fought, very well-coached team, and did a good job there, especially in that second quarter. But once again, the night belongs to the Arrows. We will see if we can catch up with Sam Mooney and Coach Hodor down in the field, guys. I see Coach Hodor. He is doing an interview, it looks like. But it's not with Sam Mooney yet. He's pretty persistent, though. He looks like he's going to make it out there regardless. As Coach Hodor finishes up his other interview here, you got the Watertown football players singing the school song with the student section here. It's a big deal to do that with your home crowd. So, in case this would ever be some of these seniors' last games, it's been a privilege to watch them, and I know it's been an honor for those kids to play here. So. Again, now we're going to see if Sam Mooney catch up with Coach Hodorf here. We will send it down to him.
Okay, Coach, big win against Mitchell Kernels, 42-7. Started out hot in the first quarter, kind of cooled off a little bit in the second quarter. Second half, you blew up. What was the difference?
Oh, we just came out hot, ready to play. We came out, played really hard offensively. We got a couple big plays defensively to set our offense up and scored one defensively. When your defense and your special teams plays well and your offense plays well, you can put up 42 points.
Coach, you go to Spearfish next weekend, or 1 week from today. Long drive, against a good team. How do you prep for that travel time and for that going across the state to play a good Spearfish team?
Well, we just got to be ready for the trip, and we have to be prepared and have everything scheduled out. Kids have to know in advance of what's going to happen and where we're going to stop and all those kind of things. We got to take all the mental things out of the trip. If we can do that, then we get there and play a good football game.
All right, Coach, stay warm. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Again, just to finish up here tonight, some of the Watertown stats. Juven Hudson finished with 84 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Spencer Winches had 19 yards rushing and a touchdown. Mr. Himrick had 173 yards passing. It looks like he had 2 touchdowns tonight. So a good all-around night for the Arrows. Offensively, defensively got to score on defense. Our guy here, Jaden Lambert, had that pick 6 on defense. Had another interception by Spencer Winches. So all-around good night from the Arrows. We thank you guys for watching. We hope to see you in 2 weeks, and go Arrows. Thanks, guys.